Hello, and good evening. Welcome to Menopause Studios' Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Albany by Night. I am your storyteller, Chris Bernal, aka Grifu, and let's meet our vampires for this evening.
I'm Jonah, and I will be playing Herschel, or Herschel Osterpohl, who is a Tremere, and he's 96 years young, but he looks 20. He's been sent to Albany by the Jewish Museum Chantry to discover what happened to the destroyed chantry that the Tremere have set up in Albany. For anyone who doesn't know, a chantry is a haven or a lab or a library for the Tremere. He also is the unofficial or official ambassador to Rhea, which is going really poorly for him.
Alright, my name is Mallory. I'll be playing Margot, the Gangrel. She looks to be about 25, but she's actually like 57 years old.
57?
57. And she spent like about the last 30 years living in the woods outside Albany. At first under the control of her sadistic Sabbat sire, then alone, and now with her wife Quincy. Quincy's existence is a break in the masquerade, which means it's illegal, and pretty much my entire goal here is to protect her.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I am playing Rhea, a Vintru, who is the current Prince of Albany, who was previously a detective in New York City. She took over the role as Prince after the unexpected murder of her predecessor by the Sabbat. She looks to be about 22 years old, but she's actually 85.
And I'm Scott. I am playing a gangrel. My character's name is Nick Carducci. He is the current and hopefully long-standing sheriff of Albany. And he's been in New York for a lot of the shenanigans that have been occurring recently. He's recently returning to figure out what is going on. He looks in his late 30s, but is only 48. He is a baby by vampire standards and exceptionally young to be the sheriff. So I'm sure that won't come up at all tonight.
The events that are going to unfold this evening are the product of about maybe 2 or 3 months worth of sessions and prequels. So if at any point you're confused about the characters that are appearing, both player characters and non-player characters, you can join our Discord at the link below. In the Albany by Night channel, I've posted an overview of the episode with a index of the cast, so that you can follow along and not be terribly, terribly confused. So with that, I'd like to welcome you all to Albany by Night, Episode 2, Babette. Headlights flash as a dark vehicle drives away from the dimly lit 2-story Victorian-style home. Pan forward past the house to a freshly painted barn, soft red and white. The snow falls lightly in the forest, and the warm light issuing from the barn signals comfort. Entering, we see that there are several groups of people dining at white cloth-covered tables. They are dressed in formal clothes, and a rich young family eagerly listens as a server hands them small menus. Right here you can see our butter menu for the table. Each of these butters have been crafted from a singular individual cow, and it is amazing how you can really taste the difference in their personalities. They point down at the menu. This one is Daisy. The camera soft pans to the next table over with 2 men in dark suits. The younger man has a 5 o'clock shadow, deep golden skin tone, and long eyelashes. The other, the older one, is a pale man with charcoal hair. He is holding a deep wine glass and slowly swirling the dark red liquid inside. Humans think they invented the concept of farm to table. The younger man blinks rapidly, his eyelashes gracefully fluttering. He quickly looks around and the older man taps his glass. This man was a stockbroker who died in 1972. He had upset me, managed to turn some of my financial sources against me. He sips deeply from the glass and dabs his red mouth with a white napkin. You can really taste the fear, can't you? He closes his eyes and savors it. The younger man sniffs at his glass, takes a sip, and nods appreciatively. It's still warm, he says, his voice soft. The glasses are enchanted, as the blood bin. At this, the young man starts again, quickly looking to see if anyone nearby has noticed. Hassan, please. You act as if you've never walked among the kind before. The older man scoffs. Please, behave. It's just... Hassan furrows his brow. I'm the one who's been trying to corral the rest of our sect, and he gestures to the room. Let's just say we wouldn't be drinking out of glassware or using napkins. The young man looks up at his sire seriously. But David, why have you returned from Turkey? The war cannot be done already. The older man's hard eyes steel and gaze right through his child. We are being eaten. We were called from the farm and culled at the table. It knew our names, just as I knew this man. David points at the glass. And just as that family thinks they know their cow, the circle is unbroken. Hassan's hands shake slightly, stunned. There's always a bigger fish, he says, shaking his head. But surely the Sabbat still has forces on the ground, right? The sword of Cain is also still unbroken, David says, returning to calm. But we may need to change tactics. And with the Second Inquisition coming down in Montreal, Hassan nods. So that's why you called me down here from Toronto. You're setting up shop in Albany. David smiles across the table, his fangs glinting. No, Hassan, we are. Now then. David abruptly stands up out of his chair and shrugs into his fur coat. Why don't you pick out something to take up to the mints? As Hassan begins to stand, David turns and strokes the man's cheek. Your mother so wanted to prepare something for you. Hassan's smile turns to terror. He takes a step back. Babette's here? And your brothers as well. Come now, Hassan, David smiles. Let's take dessert to go. The shadows dance around the edge of the barn before looming up and darkening the room as the camera fades to black. The camera opens again, this time in the dark interior of a moving car. We see two red heels and a pair of pale legs in sheer hosiery.
I'm sorry, 1 second. Sarge. Hello?
Hi, Prince Rhea, hello. It's Sarge.
Hi, Sarge, yes. Caller ID.
It's been a while, about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Look, I know you've only been in Albany a few months, and I haven't really been the most respectful harpy.
Understatement, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I'm just calling to say what you did at the Palace Theater, it was good. I'm apologizing. With you and Luther and everything that's been going on with him since his attempted regicide and the betrayal of the Camarilla. Look,
It's all, well, water under the bridge at this point. He's been doing a lot better, and I understand that it's been hard for you. What would have been much harder is if we had to terminate him.
and I thank you for your mercy. And I'm calling to say, well, that I think I see what Luther sees in you. Maybe we could do dinner. We could meet up sometime soon.
Yes, let's do that. Right now I'm on my way to a farm-to-table dinner with some of the newcomers in Albany.
Wow.
I'll let you know if anything comes up and we might need some assistance. I've only met them a few times, but they're not trusted ranks yet.
Keep me handy. I'm working tonight, but I'll pay attention. I could always make Fiona take the bar.
Great. She does enjoy it, so thank you for your words.
Sarge.
Sarge.
Flattery, I suppose.
Yes, he is apologizing for his poor judgment of my character.
Can you describe the two people we see in the back of this moving vehicle?
Sure. You go ahead.
You see a blonde woman with her hair tucked in a low pony at the base of her neck, wearing today it will be a jewel purple, like a purple in tone, silk blouse with an A-line skirt, and always with the red heels. She's into power clashing.
Okay, and you're looking at Nick. He's tall, average build, dark hair, deep-set eyes, kind of unremarkably handsome, almost forgettably so. He's wearing just kind of as casual as he can get and still get away with maybe going to a dinner like this. A collared shirt, a jacket, probably some dark jeans and a pair of boots. He looks back at you as you're kind of going through this, and he goes, "Well, I'm glad he's happy. New York is a little less happy with the events."
Yes, we're still in talks with the Ivory Tower about what happened. I've sent them all of the tapes that we had regarding Christine's passing, and so far it seems that no one is really to blame, but they hold their cards tightly to their chest. I don't know if they're going to do anything to Irene with what she did, but at least they've let me handle Surge.
Tell me more about the Irene situation. It's kind of close to home with that Gangrel connection, and as she's kind of running the Gangrel in the area, it's something that...
Though she was not the one to actually lend hands on the death of Christine, it was her animals that carried it through. So, upon her orders, and so, but the events leading up to it were very traumatic, and I had to take a step back. I was requested to because I was too close to what happened, since I was the focus of her attention to kill.
It's getting... I know it wasn't your fault, but it's getting... we're on the verge of being the laughingstock of New York if it was funny. It's not.
No, it's not. All of these escapades at court that keep occurring, like that the one with the blood and the pouring down of the blood, like we don't even know who. Do we have any idea who did that prank? Any further investigation?
Got some suspicions. Again, I don't want to besmirch the Gangrel name, which is already poor. You can think about how I'm dealing with this whole situation of them walking around. A, and B, we've lost there's been a lot of very old blood that is lost when we should be stabilizing. We're only losing more kindred as we try to create.
So you're saying it was a gangrel? You believe it was another gangrel?
I've got a strong suspicion.
There's only one other one other than you and Irene, and that is Margot.
Mm-hmm.
You think it was
I have,
but
like I said...
You don't have proof.
And even if I did, at this point, we need to be finding areas to stabilize. A stupid prank is a stupid prank. We need to let vanity get out of the way of the situation. We need to be forgiving, make people feel safe, make people feel like this is a stable court, not a fiasco where people are yelling out and having potential masquerade breaches in theaters and whatnot.
This is true, but putting aside my pride and vanity is always one very hard for me. But I've done it before. I've allowed Herschel into court as an advisor. I can do it again.
Well, that's true. You've let someone who's openly perform blood magic in your presence when it's forbidden. You have demonstrated some leniency, but we have to at this point.
The difference is the Ivory Tower did not know about that, and they won't.
And they will not know about that.
They will not know
unless he has to. But my concern is, how do we keep everyone feeling like this is a stable court when we have to keep on rooting out these morons, idiots who are kind of digging in and making their agenda above the idea of setting up the Camarilla to fight against the Sabbat? That has to be the priority.
Well, for now, we lie our asses off and we go in and we try to be as charismatic and welcoming as we can and diplomatic as we can to these newcomers to Albany.
Then they've definitely sent the right person. And you. And me, I can lie as well, but charisma, I'm counting on you for.
I'll try.
No doubt.
With that, the camera zooms out from the moving vehicle, but it stays nearby and zooms into the vehicle directly behind this one. Who do we see in the back of this car?
Well, there's Herschel, and he has long dark hair, a bowler hat on, and he is wearing a suit with a vest, and he has a small stack of books next to him with a leather bag next to that, that's kind of bulging, and he's frantically taking notes and muttering to himself as he is just completely in his own world. And he's saying, well, I do remember that from the ritual that was a little while ago, that I remember seeing the two humans, and I don't know whether they summoned the demon, or whether we summoned the demon, or who summoned the demon, but there was a demon, and I do think that someone needs to do something. He licks his pencil, demon, and he underlines it twice. So he just kind of takes his notebook, puts it back in his pocket, rips out the page that he's been writing, and just crumples it up as he's just very unsatisfied with the notes that he's taken, the letter that he's trying to write.
The camera zooms out of the car once more. This time travels quite a distance into a forest right outside of Albany. And we see a cabin in the woods.
A very nice, petite little cabin in the woods. And we can zoom in through our living room window where Quincy and Margot are curled up on the couch. The only light in the room is the TV, and my familiar, our pet raccoon is at our feet, and Quincy's just like scratching him behind the ears like a dog. It's a really nice life. It's not the life Margot thought she was gonna have by any means, but it's a pretty nice life.
And there's an apparent age gap between the two of you.
Yes, we've been together for 20 years, and I have not aged in any of that time.
And she's in her mid-40s?
Mid-40s, yeah. I still look like I'm 25.
She looks down at her watch. She looks up at you. I think it's almost time.
Right. Are you ready? Okay. All right. And she's going to go down into the cellar. We have a door it's where I sleep at night in the day. And she's going to go down. We have a cachet. We have a store of weapons down there, and she's going to load a shotgun. I'll be back, I promise, okay? But keep this door locked.
I understand.
I shut the trap door.
She's just looking up at you. And the last thing you see before you shut the door are her human eyes. And you know that a limousine is pulled up out front.
I get lucky to come and he jumps into what is a very large doctor's bag, like an old leather doctor's bag.
Lucky the raccoon.
Lucky the raccoon, of course. And I shut it, and I'm going to carry that out with me.
What does Margot look like as she's stepping out of the cabin?
Asian American, mid-20s, black hair that comes down just a little past her chin. She was told to wear the nicest thing she owns, but she doesn't own anything nice. She doesn't like leave this area very often. So she's just wearing like a black shirt with like a collar. It's the best she could do.
Sure.
And who do I see? Who's coming out of the limo?
So the driver has stepped out and has moved to your side of the car to open the door for you. On the inside, you see what looks to be a young man with a 5 o'clock shadow, golden skin tone, and long fluttering eyelashes.
Do I recognize him?
You recognize him as Hassan, the vampire you once had connections with several years ago.
Oh.
Margot.
I get in.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to get your message.
What, 25 years?
Yeah.
I left Albany right before the King Maria took over.
Well, that was a smart decision.
But you're still here.
Yeah. I kept my head low.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you able to... The wind blows really heavily outside the car. And the snow begins to fall as you move away from the cabin and back to the highway. There's a moment of silence.
Can I roll insight to see if I can figure out kind of what's going on?
Definitely.
Yes. Okay.
Insight in politics.
Insight. Ooh. Don't have anything.
Well, actually it would be...
Would it be wits?
Yes, wits and insight. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay. I have 3 in insight for some reason.
Is an insight?
3 insight.
Right.
That's fine. Alright, so and then my 200 die, which replaced my normal.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's gonna be 6 dice.
We're looking for number of successes.
Okay.
Anything 6
Oh,
or
I lost one
higher.
of them at some point. I'm gonna re-roll them. So where it went. Alright, that's a 4. That is card. Okay, so I have 3 successes.
Your relationship with Hassan was cordial. The Sabbat that controlled Albany over 20 years ago kept a low profile. It is the state capital, so running around the streets, dragging human bodies, not really gonna fly. And Hassan was one of the ones who made sure that the Canaanites in Albany stayed composed. So this is a working relationship. I doubt there was any real antagonizing. But with that being said, you're not sure why he's returned to Albany or why you've been summoned out. David, you remember my sire?
Of course.
He wants to know what you know about the current prince of Albany.
I've met her.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Honestly, she's young and unexperienced, and I think she's not hard enough. I think she should be.
Excellent. Perfect.
She goes too easy on her.
And her sheriff?
I have met him also. Did not have a pleasant exchange.
Oh.
He's very young, but I think might be a problem.
Interesting. A problem?
He's
Most sheriffs are problematic to begin with. Why is this one worse?
he's clever.
That's probably like the first moment when Hassan is broken his veneer of composure in front of you. Interesting. Huh. He's smart. No offense, but that's not something I often see in a gangrel.
Of course.
Still, could be useful. You're living alone?
I have food.
Ah,
Yeah.
you're keeping a herd.
Of course.
Interesting. Just curious. You're not going to ask about me?
How have you been?
Well, you've been hiding away down here in New York.
Mm.
The Sabbat's been busy north of the border. You haven't answered any summons.
Summons? Are you sure they have the right address?
That's not what I mean. But okay. Look,
Sorry.
I understand the need for independence. You know, I spent the last few decades away from my sire. It's been nice.
Congratulations.
But we're back.
Okay.
We need you to fall in line.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad.
Where are we going?
We're headed to Troy. Troy is a part of the greater Albany metro area. And he tells you about how him and David, well, mostly David, has taken up a haven just outside of the country club of Troy. We're going to dinner.
Oh, good.
It's an excellent little setup he has. A farm-to-table dining experience. It works well for our cover.
I don't think. It's interesting. Don't the Sabbat usually prefer to hunt?
Well, you know how things have been lately. Besides, David has always been a little bit more refined. He still drinks out of glassware.
Good for him, I guess.
You know. But you'll adjust. I'm sure.
Of course.
With that, the camera zooms out. Okay. And the limo is pulling up to we see like a large white country club on the outskirts of the city of Troy. It seems to be mostly dim, and while there seem to be occupants inside, the limo takes you past the country club and turns down a gravel road. After about 15 minutes of meandering through the snow-covered woods, the limo pulls up past the Victorian-style home and in front of a pastoral red and white barn. Lights are issuing from within. And as the car stops, Hassan waits for the door to open, and you both exit the vehicle. Well, David and Babette, have you met her?
I don't believe so.
She keeps to herself, even when she was here in Albany.
Is she of relation? I don't know. Is she...
She acts like my mother. Anyway.
Insight? Can I roll?
Please do.
I'm just gonna roll this all night, guys. Alright. That is 3 successes.
He's hesitant. Despite the fact that he said this woman acts like his mother, he clearly does not feel that way about her. And I think you could almost smell a tinge of fear on him, which doesn't normally happen with vampires.
Yeah, is he easily shaken? Like, is he someone I wouldn't normally associate with?
He's usually composed,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
there's something in the way he...
Okay, good to know. That is terrifying.
So he leads you up to the barn. And he opens the door. Inside, we see several white cloth covered tables dimly lit by electric sconces and electric candles on the tables. There are several groups of people seated, but in the center of the room, with quite a large space in between that table and the rest of the tables, you see 3 people seated. You know them. They are Prince Rhea, Sheriff Nick, and Herschel. If you'll be seated, I'll let David and Babette know that you're all here.
Of course. Thank you.
Good luck.
Hello. Prince Rhea.
Margot, did not expect to see you here.
And I did not expect you.
Speak of the devil.
How have you been? It's been a long time, haven't
Good.
seen you.
Good. I've been good. How have you been? I don't know if we met last time.
I'm Herschel.
Herschel. Margot.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Watch out, she might have a hand buzzer or a whoopee cushion or some other prank, so be on your guard.
Great.
Okay.
So why are sorry. What brought you here today?
An invitation,
Oh.
of which I'm assuming you received one as well.
Yes. Yes.
Do you
Do
know
you
what?
need to borrow my jacket?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I see you've rid yourself of what the what I can only assume was a thrift shop store find of a dress last time. Yeah.
It was actually.
Yeah. This is much better suiting for your personality.
Thank you, Prince Rhea.
No, enough with the pleasantries. Perhaps you can. We're a little bit in the dark on this invitation. Perhaps we don't have all the information you do, but as you know, we're clansmen. And I think we might have gone off at the wrong foot. So perhaps you can illuminate us on what we're doing here, what you're doing here, and why we're both here together.
I honestly do not know. I received this invitation a few days ago.
You arrived with our host. Clearly you know something.
I mean, yes. I know Hassan. He used to live in the area. But I don't know why I would be invited to this. However, do you know who invited you? Would be David and Babette, I'm betting?
Yes. I've only met them. They've come to court a few times. The first time I was not there. Second time we met briefly. Pleasantries, blah blah blah. Wouldn't say I know too much about them though.
Oh,
But we're here to make your introductions.
yes.
To know each other a little better. But Herschel,
Nick.
didn't see you over there.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
It's, well, that's not the word. Yes, good.
That's a word.
Play nice.
He's playing very nice. He's playing perfectly nice.
What do you know about the situation?
I'm your +1. You don't need
Margot is like trying to melt into the floor currently.
I kind of want to be staring at her while she's doing this. Like my eyes don't break off of her.
Just like she's like staring off in space, like maybe if I don't move, they won't see me.
Would an insight be out of line to see if I can get a better idea of what's being hidden from you in some way, shape, or form?
Do we want a PvP?
I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
PvP.
Nick's gonna roll wits and insight, and Margot is gonna roll composure and subterfuge.
That makes sense. That's a 2 whole die. They're both hunger dice.
Oh.
Okay, that is a 9. I got 1 success.
I got 3 successes.
So
Ooh.
At least I didn't.
what does he pick up on?
Oh my gosh, with 3 successes, how much should I give him? I'm obviously
You're by
nervous.
2, which is not like tremendous, but
It's not tremendous.
No, I'm obviously nervous. I'm having difficulty making eye contact with pretty much everyone at this table. I'm probably, first of all, when I came in the room and saw you guys, complete surprise.
Okay.
I was not thinking that. And I think that's about all I can give
Okay.
you.
I think I might have come on kind of strong and angry, and I feel like I've made you. I'm probably in taking your nervousness as I'm being too hard, and I'm probably going to move on to like softening and kind of be a little bit warmer because I might have been like that's how I'm playing it. I think I went on too strong, but I can tell you're nervous. You might know more, but I'm going to try to catch more flies with honey.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
What's the rest of the room look like?
So, I was about to say, a waiter walks up to your table. There are 2 chairs still empty at this round table. This person lays down a small placard in front of each of you. Says, well, hello, good evening. Welcome to the barn. That's
Cute.
yes. I have brought you your special menus for the evening. We're offering a series of flights, a tasting experience, if you will. And I know that it will suit all of your tastes. And they grin awkwardly and just kind of shuffle backwards away from the table.
Wink, wink.
I brought my own.
You brought your own.
Is it refrigerated?
It's a little warm.
Okay.
When you look down at the menus, it seems to be a line menu. From a casual glance would make it look like a line list. But on further examination, you realize that these vintages and years also have qualities ascribed to them, such as fearful, passionate, desperate, strong.
Interesting.
Is it really? It's obviously quite a display of opulence to the prince. Obviously, want to make a statement that they are in charge and they're taking care of the situation. Who has this kind of resources? Who's got this kind of who's got blood this old?
Nothing beyond 1972. Still.
Yeah.
That's still vintage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And who keeps track of it like this? This is clearly someone who's got a refined palate that's showing off. To what end? I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm kind of into the desperate.
Well,
Do you feel bad about it?
Passionate?
Honestly, my palate's not that refined.
a little.
But I know yours is.
I'm really shy on that.
So,
I can take care of it.
I might just if you want, I don't know. Do you want me to roll every single time? Because it's so much rolling. I have a 3 inside.
Yeah,
if you want to just like tell me like, is Herschel getting real right now?
Yeah, Herschel, his predator type is he's a bagger.
Mm-hmm.
So the thought of
sorry about that. We return to the inside of the barn, where our coterie for the evening are sitting at a white cloth covered table, speaking with a waiter on to which flights they plan on ordering. Is it the vintage? The passion? What is it? So the waiter walks up. So, any questions about our vintages on offer this evening?
No, No, do you have any questions about the
No,
adventures?
I would like to dive right in. I'm very excited.
Wonderful.
I love this. I love this idea.
I'm
this
so
is
glad.
fantastic.
My job depends on it.
We're so past hunting. I would like the desperate and maybe throw in some passion.
Wonderful. I'll put together a tray for you. And anyone else? It's all in the house, by the way.
The barn.
Yes. I've been given explicit instructions to provide you with whatever you wish.
Just whatever you think would. Whatever. It's a house special, or is that a thing?
Well, I can put together the prefix for you.
Sounds good.
I'll have that one.
And you, sir?
I'd like to be able to get a good variety. So
Okay. Excellent.
dealer's choice, whatever you have it as you will.
The spectrum for the three of you, and it was desperation and passion. Wonderful, wonderful.
Those two are a delightful combo.
I will try my best with our procurer's advice. I will be back shortly. Thank you. And the waiter quickly turns and walks off. You are the only table this waiter is serving tonight.
So there are multiple. There are tables.
There are at least two other servers that you've seen going around to the other tables, giving spiels. The barn's cows have been taken care of so well. They are pet and combed and brushed every day, lovingly nurtured. And we take care of our animals here.
So this is a nice little dog and pony show. I mean, I guess appropriate for a barn, but I would really love to meet who we're supposed to be dealing with.
Yeah, they've kept us waiting, but
This preamble seems to be a little excessive, but who am I to judge?
I'm not sure why we're here, to be honest.
maybe we're taste testers. We are the ones that they want to see whether or not this actually works on looks around. Clearly they're mortals. Our kind.
But the varietals, there's some of them are old, and to be frank, it's well, look, this just doesn't strike me as like a taste test, or it's.
Are you upset by the fact that they keep these humans and provide us with the blood from them? Very similar to.
No, not at all.
Herschel, can you make a wits and occult check, please?
I can absolutely do that.
That's always fun.
Good news is I'm very hungry.
Yes. Include your hunger die.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them.
Alright.
Depending on how a vampire's hunger is, they will substitute one or multiple d10s for hunger die. When that happens, depending on if the hunger dice come up with
Those are
10s or 1s, certain things can happen.
Which, speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
Messy crit.
I got a messy critical.
But you got 2 tens, so they
Two
count
tens.
as 4s.
Yes.
So I got 2 10s, one of which was on the hunger die, and a 9 on one of my hunger dice, which
But
just
that's-
means 5 successes and a messy crit.
So, you realize as you're thinking and speaking that there's like a buzzing in the back of your ear. And you realize that your entire table seems to be surrounded by this sort of static brown noise. Like not a white noise, it's like a little lower timbre than that. It's almost like a sphere around your table. It causes a tension in your teeth, and you can't help but bare your fangs as you feel it.
which is there anyone like near our table? Or are we all sort of like to
There's a big enough space, but anyone looking over could probably see his fangs.
Do I
away.
still have my menu?
Yes.
I'm gonna like glance at him, and if we're at round table, I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
take another look at the menu.
Right up until right before that. Well, it's.
Herschel, would you like to step outside, perhaps?
I do think I'm gonna need some air.
Get some air.
Yeah, that might be a nice.
You look unwell. Perhaps I'll join you.
Yeah, that might be a good
Yes,
idea.
please.
So is there anyone specifically nearby that could like overhear a conversation at this table?
No
Or
one-
is anyone watching?
So no one's looking over. I mean, some people occasionally look around, but even with some of the way that you've been speaking tonight, no one has like looked over and been like, humans, huh? Blood. No one's done that.
Blood, what's going on?
Blood.
Would I know what that round noise means at all? Or
It's magic.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean that in and of itself, it's. Well, how many successes was that?
5.
So it's very strange that there are Tremere, there are blood mages who have learned to control matter with their mind, telekinesis, as well as maybe some light pyrokinesis. But this feels different, magic that you're not completely aware of.
I have, is my sense of the unseen, Auspex discipline at all engaged by any...
Are you engaging it?
Well, it's kind of I can detect, obfuscate, I can tell when blood magic is happening around me. I don't know if this falls into it. 249 if you're inclined.
I am inclined. Thank you. Sense the unseen. It's free. Roll wits plus Auspex, please. Auspex is the vampire discipline that allows a vampire to enhance their senses, either physically or supernaturally.
I have 3 successes.
3 successes. As you tune in, you open yourself to the unseen.
Yeah.
That buzzing instantly fills your ears,
Okay.
and you can sense it around the table.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of do the grab you kind of around the shoulder, and we're gonna kind of make our way to the out of the barn just to get some fresh air out around front.
As you step out, there is a human smoking a cigarette, and he turns and sees you, Herschel. Oh,
Those will kill you.
and he drops it and just goes back inside.
Better.
Listen, something.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What?
I don't know.
I know you have a power. I know you in this. You don't. You know. And this is not happening lightly. So what do you got? Are we in danger?
I don't know. It's. I don't think it's Tremere.
Then what are these people?
Interesting. Intelligence and occult, both of you.
Yeah, my strong suit, but I will.
My strong suit.
That's why I'm engaging you.
That's why I called
Just
it.
one success. I don't even know.
Alright.
You know the Tremere aren't the only clan with access to sorcery.
Right.
That's it.
And I'm glad to know that it's not.
Alright. 1. Jeez. 2 successes.
Don't forget, you can only burn a willpower.
Yes, I will do that. I'm going to burn one of my willpower to reroll 2 dice.
Up to 3 non-hunger dice.
I have 3 non-hunger. I can reroll.
Okay.
Excellent. Alright. Trapped at more than 2 successes. That's better. 4 successes.
4 successes, wonderful. Thinking about which vampire clans know sorcery, the Banu Hakim, of which you know Ekram and Sadie, they are Camarilla, Kindred, who are part of that clan. They have some access to blood magic, specifically. This doesn't feel like blood magic, which... the Tsumiche. They are a Sabbat clan who have access to strange magics. You've heard ancient magics of theirs have dealt with the elements, but in modern nights, their magics seem to mostly revolve around vicissitude, the shaping and sculpting of flesh and bone.
believe I don't have. I believe that we might be dealing with, possibly, I'm not entirely sure, Nick.
Spit it out,
Um,
please.
That's a V-check?
They're one of the clans of the Sabbat.
I know.
And I
Was this a trap then? Ambush? Why make such a show of it?
possibly.
If they wanted us dead, there's other ways to do it, and they would open warfare, and it doesn't seem like the point.
I mean, it could also just be a bit of sleight of hand. Maybe they don't want us dead. Maybe they want control or blackmail, or I could give you a list of things that they might want, and it's a list of things that they could easily get. They could, for
So
example.
we run or hide, or we find out what they want. Seem like the two options. They baited the trap potentially. Now should we go find out what they want? Should we get involved? What do you recommend? You've been doing this longer than I have, and I hate to say it, and as squirrely a fuck as I find you to be, no offense. Okay, offense.
A little bit taken, but it's okay. I'm a little squirrely.
I need to. You know about this stuff, so I need you to be on my side. Are you on my side with this?
Herschel, at that moment you hear a voice whispered in your ear as if carried upon by the wind. You are not wrong. And then two shapes approach the pair of you out of the darkness. Margot and Rhea.
I know, I got left alone with Prince Rhea. This is wonderful.
Does our drinks at this time?
Yes, as soon as they step out, the waiter returns with
Okay.
flights. The three of you have four different small glasses put in front of you.
Yeah.
Rhea, you have also four different, but they're labeled Desperate 1, Desperate 2, Passion 1, Passion 2.
Testing. The one.
So, as a Ventru, Rhea can only drink from a very specific type, and she needs to make
4 to
sure
6
that this blood belongs to that type.
6 successes.
1 Desperate and 1 Passion. Passion 1, Desperate 1, both belonged to men. And both belong to men of your type.
Yes.
What is that type? You'll have to watch episode 1 to find out.
Shameless plug.
Not shameless.
Margot.
Yes,
Sips
Prince
her.
Rhea. Did I see where Hassan went?
You'll, as you're drinking the...
Where do you think the boys ran off to?
If you drink the
have
blood,
no idea.
feel free to
Prince
remove
Rhea.
1 hunger.
Yes.
You cannot go below 1 without killing.
And I just ignore what the waiter put in front of me.
Okay.
Not your type?
Not quite, no. Is there, did I see at all where Hassan went?
He exited the barn in the same way that he entered.
Okay.
He merely opened the door for you
Uh-huh.
and then let you walk through. So
Cool.
you have no idea where he went.
That fucker.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, what would you like to know?
How long have you been in Albany?
A while. A long while.
What did you think about the previous prince?
I didn't interact with them.
Were you close with Francesca or any of his other child?
Do I know who Francesca
Childer.
Do
Childer.
I know who Francesca is?
Francesca was Prince Luca's child. She's still alive, technically.
No, I don't believe I interacted with
What
them
about the
for-
one that was murdered?
Well, which one was murdered?
The male one.
Prince Luca?
No, he had two child.
Saul.
Saul. Saul.
I don't believe I met.
So you've not really been
I
in contact with anyone in the court, so you've not been active in the court.
I visited on occasion. I just wasn't very social.
What do you do in your free time?
Hunt?
What?
Was, what?
What do you hunt? Rabbits? Whales? Pigeons? I hope not rats. I feel like you're better than that.
I hunt for sport.
Maybe you like rats.
Oh, I feel like you're trying to say something.
Just curious. You're very quiet and uncomfortable. It's fun to play with. Much like rats.
Oh, of course, Prince Rhea.
You know who also likes rats?
Yes, Prince Rhea?
Justin.
Of course.
All right, back outside. Awkward. Two figures loom up out of the darkness through the light snowfall. They seem to be underdressed for the cold. A man wearing a suit, like you two, and a pale man. He seems a little bit older, although mid-30s, so not older than you, Nick. The woman is striking, wearing black heels, Louis Vuittons, red underneath, and a very tight black dress that ends right below her knees, a cocktail dress. As a blonde woman, her hair done up in a bun with a little veil, little thing right over her. As she steps up, Herschel, you recognize her voice as the one who just whispered in your ear. Good evening. Hello.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I guess we're doing some kind of trick-or-treat bullshit. That's fine. Good to know.
The man introduces himself. He's an older man. Hello, I am David.
Pleasure.
David Depardieu.
And Herschel will turn to the woman and say, am I right to assume that you are the proprietor?
I am Babette. I am a procurer. David owns the place. I merely do his bidding.
Yeah.
Herschel and Nick, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have you managed to taste my treats?
We stepped outside, get some air. It's a nice night.
Yeah, it was getting a little, stuffy inside, you might say.
Oh. Okay.
It's nice to be a guest, and thanks for the invite. What's with the weird magic powers that are manifesting when we're coming as guests and so on and so forth?
You know this. Oh, David, she turns to the man. These men are much more intelligent than I thought.
I'm not. No one ever said that I'm smart. I'm just. I've got a good ear for this kind of nonsense. We're just trying to do business. I want to talk to you, and I enjoy the niceties. Okay, I don't enjoy the niceties.
This is a call of pleasure. Please let us step out of the snow.
Fair enough.
Sit down.
Would you join us?
Perhaps we should go talk.
Of course.
Let's go. Let's all get together. Have a pat's powwow.
So, Nick and Herschel step back into the barn, and followed behind them are David and Babette, a striking couple, very beautiful as a pair, but even alone, Babette's appearance would stun those who are used to the most beautiful people. There's something about the way that she steps into the room that feels like she weighs as little as a feather. They approach the table. Babette turns to you. Prince Rhea, wonderful to see you again. Wonderful. And she extends a hand for you.
Good to see you, Babette. I don't kiss it, but I like it very close and then just give it back.
It's cold.
Yeah.
David, of course. Prince Rhea, it is good to see you. All of you. Marco. It's been a while.
Yes.
Oh,
That explains.
hello, Marco. Babette offers her hand to you. I have heard much about you.
Oh.
What a small world when your friends know our friends, and
Yeah,
here
it's
we are.
interesting.
Oh, well, David says, news between Kindred travels fairly fast, no? Fast enough.
Not as fast as it could, but hey, we're all trying to stay alive.
He pulls out a chair for Babette to sit down, and he says, these are trying times indeed for our kind, but it is nice that we can all sit and dine together.
Agreed.
And he takes the seat next to her that has been left empty.
Going to directly look at Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything okay?
Well, it turns out that our kind is a strange way to say this because while we all might come from the same, we might be descendants of the same common kin, we've had a large divide pretty long ago, and we've had a contentious relationship. Is that fair to say?
You can speak freely, Babette says. The humans can't hear us.
Oh, is this part of this?
Mm.
Ah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ting in my ear.
Oh, well played.
They're very powerful. They're Sabbat, and they're here to creep us out with this kind of. You know what? Okay. Maybe he's being a little offensive, but hey, I'm here.
He is a little offensive. It's fine.
All right.
Let's just get all our cards on the table,
Sure.
Okay? You want something from us? We want to talk. I'm as friendly as the next guy. Let's get to it.
You were right about him, Marco, David says.
You've spoken. You've collaborated?
This sheriff is intelligent.
Why do you think he's sheriff?
I'm not.
Please, Babette says. Let us not fight over dinner.
We're not fighting.
And at that point, the waiter brings up two very deep wine glasses and sets them in front of David and Babette.
Matt, taste what you're having. I just want to know what's
Okay.
more.
Yes. You should be doing the talking.
Why don't you come up to the manse and we'll have dessert?
That would be.
It's better than we have full cards on the table.
Except yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Look, David says. Your sheriff cuts straight to the heart of the matter. We are Sabbat.
Masai.
And we come seeking refuge. The Second Inquisition has made its mark in Montreal.
So we're supposed to help you. Your kind murdered the previous prince. Do you think any of us would ever feel safe?
I know nothing about that.
How am I supposed to know? How are any of us supposed to trust you after what your kind does?
You can look into my eyes and trust me, David says.
I'm not. PTSD. Look away.
She's Herschel will turn to Babette and say, Matt, and he will turn to David and say, wouldn't it be all right if I used a little, just a smidgen of my gift, just a bit, and just so we could verify what you're saying.
What do you mean? David says.
Yeah. There are cards on the table.
Oh, it's just a. Clearly, as any Tremere can do, I could force you to tell us the truth.
I don't believe we're to that point of
I'm asking permission.
necessity. Permission to force?
Yes.
No, Babette says, you do not have our consent.
Well, then in that case, thank you for
Right.
listening.
We need to establish clear trust, which we don't have, which I can appreciate. Like you need something. We're having a conversation. This is
We have invited you here. We've been almost perfectly frank.
Yes, and I can understand that. I have a question for you if we can proceed.
We Tsumiche have a rule in inviting guests into our homes.
I don't know your way.
Our way is to be hospitable, to be pleasant and polite.
Yes.
Refuge can be so hard to find these nights, no?
Yes. And I apologize if I am being blunt, but bad things have happened recently when we go to perfectly civil events until they turn out to not be such. So...
May I do an investigation? I would like add like a perception roll around to see if there's any trigger things happening. Anyone kind of standing around looking like they're waiting on something to happen.
Investigations takes a little bit more time, and so
and
it's going to be in awareness.
In awareness, same
Let's take
dice pool.
Wits and awareness.
Wits and awareness, solid. So it's 3 and then 2.
How many hunger do you have?
1.
Oh, because she just drank some blood. Ooh. She's the only one who's drank out of her cups.
Yeah, well, that's a good sign.
So far.
I took 1 sip, okay? That is 3 successes.
Okay. 1 sip's not enough to take away 1 hunger, FYI. 3 successes.
Right, okay, drank the glass.
On your awareness.
I don't have a problem.
Smell it.
The door to the barn, the main entrance, are these large, double wide doors. Double wide's not the right word. Wide double doors that lead into the barn. While it's
the
shut,
ones on like the tracks.
it's shut behind them. It has opened just a bit, and despite the fact that you can see the snow falling, there's almost like a film of shadow in between the cracks of the door.
While she's getting that together, I'm getting myself prepared to speak, and I look and say, okay, so you've got stuff that you want to keep under wraps. I understand that. We're getting to know each other. Perhaps we could have a nice little answer question. What does a group of exotic Sabbat looking for refuge, why are they well aware? How come, yes. Yeah, okay, calm down for a second. How come, how did they know so well a gangrel?
Yes, let's
What's
speak
this
to
connection?
that.
You know,
She said she had been in Albany for a very long time, but have you been in Albany for the time of when the Sabbat controlled Albany?
Why would my fellow clans member not talk about having such interesting friends or associates?
Monaco?
Well, I was, my sire was Sabbat. I've been...
The gangrel, David says, have a storied history in Sabbat. It was Louis Gangrel who founded Montreal for our sect in the first place.
Right.
Long ago.
Yeah, that's ancient history, but this is, ancient...
Nowness.
Nowness, exactly.
Ancient nowness.
This is not so ancient nowness that's happening right now, the present tense. So, we're learning so much, and I love an educational session like this. Thank you.
So you were
Thank
running
you for
from
telling
this...
the truth.
You were running from the Second Inquisition. They have taken Montreal.
Running is a very strong word.
You're running to the Camarilla.
We are not
Controlled.
running anywhere. We are merely...
Clearly setting up shop, lying about who you are to begin with. You could have come to me at the very intro. Why not? Why not when you came to court?
David shakes his head. That is
It's not
the
stylish
way of our
enough. A Bank of America is not the styling place to come forward. You had to do it in a rustic barn on your own turf.
Would you have not done the same?
May speaking of kind, it's not the way of your kind. Why are you coming to our kind if you have plenty of your kind? Where are your friends? Where are your allies? Why come in this direction?
Clearly one of them is at this table.
Okay, Nick, can you roll for It's gonna be persuasion.
Okay.
And charisma or manipulation, I think.
Okay.
Either one.
Manipulation's 3.
It's
So.
hard to tell when to use, like, how they differ at times.
I mean, I'm not trying to make them like me. I'm trying to get it from me. In fact,
So
I'm quite the
manipulation,
opposite.
definitely.
Persuasion.
Manipulation and persuasion.
Okay. It's not. I'm not being particularly honeyed. I got
You
2
can always
successes.
burn a willpower to roll 3.
I'll burn 1 to roll these 2 again. I got 3 successes.
And is that the blue one? Is that your hunger die?
I don't have a hunger die.
Okay.
You don't have any hunger?
No.
You've killed.
Well, the last time I played, I killed.
You've
I'll take
killed since then.
I mean, I must have.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, we can go into that. Things got weird in New York.
Your question was, I'm so sorry, why come to you all?
Yeah, like why? I'm sure they have resources. That the Sabbat still exist. Why?
Got it. Okay. 3 successes. Babette's looking at David. She seems to just kind of be like, how are you going to answer this one? Like, she's just like, okay, alright, let's see. And David's like, we no longer have presence in the United States. The Inquisition has been thorough. You may be aware, Mexico City is our capital in the West, but anything in the U.S., we've, over the last 20 years, been hunted and slaughtered by the FBI. And he almost like makes a spitting sound on the ground. Morals. How dare they? So, those of us north of the border, those who have been always more subtle and quiet, have still survived. But it is getting hard to continue on our own. And Babette looks at him. The beckoning. You know of it, no?
Heard of it?
It has struck your sect as well.
Yes, the Malkavians.
More than just clan, those of old age.
Yeah.
Why do you think no elders are in Albany anymore? They've left. They've all been summoned east for the Gehenna War.
In Turkey.
In the Middle East as well.
David.
In Northern Africa.
Why are you both not there?
How old are you? I know it's rude to ask.
That's a good sign.
Please don't ask that.
I get a little nervous. I'm like,
Is there a way that we can like try to sense how old they are? Their role or
No,
There's a way that
you could.
I could.
What is that way?
I would have to drink their blood.
oh, is that all?
So,
Well,
Well,
maybe you can find a way to do that later.
Yeah.
yeah.
and then I see the door that you
Yeah,
gestured
what
to.
is
You had
the
done it
door?
before. You had like, pointed out to the door opening and
Yeah,
the shadow. So I catch.
I'm keeping an eye on it, by the way.
I catch a glimpse
Like,
of it too.
kind
Now
of
I'm
cross-eyed.
keeping it like I'm doing like this and keeping an eye on it as well if I can.
So a little time has passed while we're conversing.
Yes.
Rhea seems to be the only one who's touched her flight, which is your prerogative.
Not since I found out they were Sabbat. I have limits.
Yeah. I've
Standards.
I mean, I came back. It was sitting there. We probably got into business. I probably even thought about it. I'm not that hungry like you said.
Babette, like, would you like a tour of the premises?
To what
It
end?
seems like it would be impolite to say no.
So you can see how we work, and perhaps it will need your approval. Hmm?
Yes, I think that, yeah, I believe I would like that.
Excellent.
All
Can I
right.
roll an insight on that?
Yes, you may.
And I realize I've been very quiet, and that is just because Margot was trying to keep her head down. I don't.
Good reason.
Yes. It's like sinking.
Literally, it's just like the table and then Margot's head.
I just refuse to let you make any kind of good impression at all.
2 successes.
I mean, it seems like they're trying to impress. They've got a lot of wealth behind this operation.
Okay.
And to you, it seems really obvious that they're trying to show off their money. But that is probably the main way that they'll get into the prince's good graces.
Of course, anyone can just buy their way in.
Exactly.
Often
Not.
rich people.
Well, that's how the Camarillo operates.
Really?
Get a
Every tower, it's just all it's a gilded cage at the end of the night.
It matters when I'm Sabah, but when they're
Whoa, what's
Sabah.
with the editorial from the story? Jeez.
How long, to Babette, how long have you guys been setting up shop out here? How long has this taken to come to fruition?
When we first met you, several weeks
A month ago, yeah.
we had just begun. I, of course, brought some of my stock from Quebec, but we have collected a few pieces that I would love to show you, honestly.
All right, whip them out. Let's go.
So they stand up, and as they do, almost like every mortal head like kind of turns to look at them. They're clearly like there is some sort of awe happening here between the two of them.
Damn it.
Very low level, nothing breaking the masquerade, nothing even close to what Christine was doing with the audience, but enough just to grab attention. And there's definitely like, oh, I think that's the owners. Oh my god. Oh, they look so cool. I hear they're French.
A little grumbly. I don't like other people getting that much attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's walking in a shadow. This is
All I can think
unfair.
is being like, oh wow, using your powers just so you can make your like a herd of what you consider your food think you're cool, like nice, real classy.
Just try to keep my head down and do my best to not be noticed by these mortals.
So,
What's happening at the door?
as they approach the door, the barn doors open, and that film of shadow seems to have dissipated, which you've seen before. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah, okay.
So, they lead you. Well, at first it seems they're headed towards the two-story Victorian home that you passed. That's right by the barn. But right before then, they turn right and down a shoveled walkway. There's snow on the ground. It's still lightly falling. Maybe like less than an inch is going to fall, but there's at least 2 inches on the ground. It's a short walk, maybe 15 minutes. And it seems that the pathway is kind of lit up here and there by fairy lights, little electric candles kind of just floating in midair until you walk up and you see that they're on spikes that have been put in the ground. And after a good 15 minutes, the forest opens again and there's a clearing. And in this clearing is what seems to be an old abandoned church. A stone temple with a wooden steeple. The doors, however, are new and modern. There are lights coming from within.
I'll wait outside.
Oh no, you must enter.
Oh, it's fine.
If you insist.
No humans around, right?
No.
Oh, sorry, out of character.
Oh,
I'm going to activate my eyes of the beast.
okay.
So my eyes just glow red for a second, then kind of fade when they're in light. When they're in darkness, you can see them gleaming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Nick's eyes just take on this red hue and glow slightly in the dark. You can see that in the darkness, now it's much more easier for you to see. The top part of the church, which is like a kind of an attic part, is unrenovated. There are cracks and holes open to the environment, but the bottom half You note that the from the darkness, the frames of stone have like new glass put in, and it seems to be that there's modern comforts within this place.
Well, after you then. Herschel.
I'll just poke my head in, I guess. Churches make me a little uncomfortable.
Really? Really?
A little.
Okay.
Before diving in, I'm going to turn my back as if I'm going to speak to Herschel, pull out my phone, and text Sarge. Just 2 words. There's Babette. That's it.
And
Share
what-
location.
so your back is to...
What you don't see, as you put your phone back in your pocket, the text wasn't sent.
So I will take the opportunity.
Reception's terrible out here.
Turning to face me,
Nature.
to dig into my bag, and
I know,
I have a
fucking
little
nature.
switchblade, which I will pocket.
All right. You grab a switchblade out of your bag and put it into your pocket.
Just inside my jacket.
As the 4 of you enter into this church haven, and Babette and David follow behind, from the outside, coming around the corners of the church, we see 2 large figures, hulking almost. They seem to have all we see are their outlines in the darkness, but the muscles on their back and arms almost seem to be mal-shaped, malformed, and twisted. They're holding clubs, and they're slowly walking up to the front door. And that's where we're going to take our 10-minute break. Dear viewers, thank you for sticking around so long, and thank you for dealing with that technical hiccup. We should be back in 10 to 15 minutes for part 2 of Albany by Night. Welcome back to Albany by Night, episode 2, Babette. Our coterie is entering into David and Babette's haven. The place is well lit, and Rhea, honestly, this is a place that you could live in. In fact, it seems that their home tastes and home decor match yours fairly well. Minimalist, but each piece has been selected with care. The couches, the chairs. They seem comfortable. Not very well lived in, per se. But definitely antique, for sure.
grudging respect.
Well, welcome to our home, Babette says.
Is this where all the magic happens?
No. You wish to see?
Well, it is the tour.
Of course. Right this way. She leads you through these living chambers, past bedrooms, it seems, doors that are shut, to a wooden door with a padlock on it.
No, okay.
She fishes into her cleavage and pulls out a small key and turns the lock. Herschel,
Yes.
as you're walking through this space, you realize that above the mantle, the fireplace, which is not in use, is a large onyx cross.
Great.
Yeah.
So, one of my flaws is that I have a folklore of holy symbols.
Yeah.
I am not entirely sure how this would manifest. I've never been in church before.
No, we have not done this. So it should be right here. Here we go. Mythic flaws. Okay. As you see the cross, you instantly feel compelled to shrink away from it.
Yeah.
If you want to move past this, you have to spend willpower.
I will be spending some willpower because the Onyx Cross is directly in the way of our tour.
You're about to go past it. Everyone else has walked past it, and you're kind of there in the living room just
That's going
staring in horror at this holy symbol.
that will take some inner strength to get past this symbol. And Herschel, when he walks past it, he's doing his very best to not let on that this is as difficult as it is. And he almost stumbles like he was pushing against a force that lifted. Like he was playing tug of war and the other team let go of the rope. And just kind of like lands, I would say, against Rhea's back. Just kind of, sorry. Excuse me.
Is there any way I can try and talk to Nick without the Sabat noticing?
Everyone's in rows of two. Babette and David are first, followed by you and Nick, followed by Rhea and Herschel.
So that's probably no.
Probably no.
Okay.
Unless you want to try and be subtle about it.
What would I be rolling for that?
Subterfuge and manipulation.
No.
Right. And if you don't forget, you can always roll willpower to re-roll 3 non-hunger dice.
That would be, let me see, 1 die. I
Yes.
would be rolling.
Yes. You can also always rouse the blood to improve by 1 die. If you don't think it's worth it, then
I do nothing.
So,
There's
Babette
nothing I
leads
can
you into a stone chamber. The temperature immediately drops. It's cool in here.
Any sign of a shadow?
Well, there are shadows everywhere.
The veiled kind of shadow, the one that had the same effect on the door below. Should I roll occult or awareness?
Honestly, as soon as you stepped into this place, it feels like every shadow is looming up out of the corner of your eye.
I'm not comfortable.
No.
Join the club.
So, in the
Don't
stone,
pretend like we're friends.
Okay.
in the stone chamber, there are several casks lined along the walls. Very small casks, kind of like not very large. And Babette lovingly strokes them as she passes. And she kind of turns in her black garb. She's still wearing that little veil over her head. This is where I keep the product. It's been decades of collection. She looks at her partner, David. We have spent much time and energy collecting this vitae.
They don't come directly from a live being.
Not our best stock. Best stock has aged. We know your rules. The ivory towers. We're not keen on breaking them. Yet.
What would make you break them?
Oh. This masquerade. It's... For us it seems childish, foolish.
Suffocating?
Why hide and disguise oneself as the cows that walk these cities?
Because as you've seen from the Second Inquisition, by outwardly showing yourself and breaking the masquerade, you put yourself at risk as well as everyone connected to you. It is not safe. It is not worth it.
Well, that is why we have not hunted in your city.
Why do I feel like there is a yet coming after that sentence as well?
Alright, you've done us a big favor by following the rules.
We have.
So,
And she turns to David, are thinking about creating a cater service? I have heard that you are missing an RP.
Yes, and neither of you will be fulfilling that, if that is what you are leading
I
towards.
miss her a little bit more every day.
Was this not an enjoyable dinner? Have we not been having stimulating conversation?
I have a question for you.
Hmm?
Why are you coming to us for refuge? Why are you seeking?
Refuge?
Because you ran into trouble with the mortals, correct? Second Inquisition, ring a bell?
Yes.
So perhaps they caught wind, all puns intended. Maybe they caught wind of your operation because of such a vulgar display of opulence. Perhaps this is the kind of activity that got you into trouble in the first place and you're bringing it to our doorstep. Potentially. Or maybe I'm looking at it too small.
I think you look at things very small in general.
Albany is a small town.
But is there perhaps a vintage you'd like to try?
I feel like we've tried enough. I don't understand what other things we have to do here.
The nights are long in winter, no? We are simply trying to get to know one another.
Might I have a taste of the vintage you were drinking at dinner?
Of course. She turns to a cask. She knows exactly which one it is, and she kind of kisses the wood. This one is... I'm quite fond of this one. I'm almost out, but I'd be willing to give you a taste.
I believe I would appreciate that.
Wonderful. She goes to a small shelf where there are a bunch of wooden cups, and she grabs one, very small cups, and she goes and just 4 drops, little splashes, hands it to you.
Herschel will take it and sniff it and take a drink. And with the drink, he's going to focus his Tremere blood sorcery senses because he wants to learn more about why does she like this so much. And he's going to use Taste for Blood.
Taste for blood.
It is just a rouse and a blood sorcery check, which just tells me about the person.
Make a rouse check, please.
Great. Rouse check. Oh, it's a failure.
What is this called?
Taste for Blood.
You're very close there, so.
Very close.
Yeah,
Herschel in a
about
frenzy.
to-
I can't wait.
That'll be fun.
Wait, what?
Not a frenzy. I'm one away.
He is currently one away.
And that was almost it.
It's not a rouse check.
Oh,
It's free.
oh, great.
So I need you to roll.
So 2 away.
I need you to roll resolve plus blood sorcery.
I just bad in my
The
nose.
user dabs the blood on their tongue and makes a resolve plus blood sorcery roll difficulty 3.
1, 2, and 3.
He's using his premier disciplines to taste.
Oh, that's
More than-
excellent. That's another messy critical.
Whoa.
That's, let's see, a crit
Can't take
and 2 more successes, so that's a 6.
But you were successful.
Very successful.
This isn't mortal. blood.
Congratulations.
This belongs to a vampire.
Oh, goody.
The problem with that is you're not bloodbound to this vampire.
Just straight up. I can't try to resist it at all.
As a Tremere, the first sip is enough to push you into bloodbound second.
Oh.
Oh, great.
Bloodbound square.
There's a
This
flash
is exciting, folks.
in your mind. You see a person, a man, blonde, tall, pale, very skinny. There's someone else's blood in here, and you know her. Irene. You also know that the person this blood belongs to is about 30 feet away.
Do I know who it is?
You've never met him.
We're about to. Here's where I try to slink under the table.
Oh, what did you think? Babette says.
Excellent.
I'm so glad. It's one of my favorites. Very recently acquired.
Reason, you say? Oh, well,
Past
that's,
few nights.
I guess that's good to know. I might I meet him?
Huh. Persuasion. I almost feel like this is composure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Composure and persuasion.
Yep.
Good thing I'm good at
So you're just kind of like trying to keep it together.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Can I
observe.
meet him?
I feel great about this. What could go wrong?
That'd be great.
Wait, 6s are successes, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We're
That's
still
5.
running off of a messy critical from the.
And
It's
that's
5
successes.
successes.
Okay. You've been taken, I see.
Yeah, you could say that.
Do we hear all of this?
Yeah, you're all right there.
Also,
She turns
And
to
do I
her.
immediately know what taken means?
She turns to her
Yeah.
to David. Darling, could you entertain our guests while I show Herschel the premises? And David said, "Of course, Babette.
Oh, I'm coming with. I will find a way.
What do you do?"
I know.
I make, So okay, to get it to consider, Babette is leading Herschel out, so she's like towards the door, and I assume David is walking in front of it to block us, or kind of trying to block us in. Yeah, I'm gonna dread gaze.
Who?
David.
Okay. What does that look like?
Should I roll first to see if it works?
Well, hold on.
I roll nothing. It looks like
Yeah.
nothing.
R comes after O. So this is in the presence discipline.
Yes.
Make a rouse check, please.
Yes.
She is rousing her blood in order to bring her presence disciplines to the fore.
I am not hungry.
You do not gain any hunger.
No.
The beast is under your control.
Damn right.
Now, I need you to make a charisma plus presence check.
That's why she's the prince.
And I'm going to roll against that. Composure plus resolve. David is
Which
It's
one?
just so bad.
but he's
So-
good at both of those.
Wait, it would make more sense that these are the. I'll go blue. We'll go blue. Blue or regular.
Oh my gosh, there's so many dice. Are there any hunger dice?
There's one hunger.
Reroll.
That's a good sign.
I'm gonna make one.
And
There we go.
And I'm
Awesome.
gonna spin a willpower and re-roll
We're gonna
3.
need it.
oh no.
I knocked one, but that is 5. Messy crit.
Oh!
With 1, 2, 3. That's 6, and then that one was also a success. 7 successes.
Woo! And it's a critical win. Vampires just make a terror frenzy. So,
Oh, gross.
describe your dread gaze as you turn to David, who's blocking your way.
As he steps, and he dares to step into my way, I make complete eye contact with him, and my fangs just come out as a force of nature just come out, and I just stare at him and step aside, or else I will turn your limbs into string.
Okay. Rolling. What was it, difficulty 3? Okay. He does not frenzy in
Thank God.
terror. But the shadows seem to almost instinctually, impulsively rise up behind him towards you. But you hold your gaze and they fall back.
There's also a low growl with every word that I say.
You are free to go with.
Thank you.
Can I just like try to walk behind her?
No,
No.
you two are coming with me. Let's sit down and talk, David says.
You know I love talking.
So, David leads Margot and Nick into the living room as Babette leads Herschel and Rhea through the stone chamber that holds their product and into another room. This one is a very small room with stairs leading down. It's dark down there.
I think as I'm leaving, I give you a look like, are you going to be okay? Then realize what the look that you just gave and realize that, like, you're fine.
I probably like turned back, face still bared, like.
And I was like, yep, no, good, you're good.
Does Babette know that she's following after her? Because like
They were a few steps ahead of me. Babette probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's like, David. Anyway,
Oh, weekly.
come right this way. Ooh. She leads you down into the cellar. There, it's colder down here, and there's some dim lights, electric once again. No open flames in this one. There's another door with another padlock. Fishing around, she pulls out a bronze key. Oh, well, we don't have pockets.
It's a shame. That's why I have this spiritual acid bag.
It's a very
Huge
thick
overflowing
Oh,
bag.
there's, only
Anything.
necessities.
Anything in my.
I see some big bulges in your back.
Oh, well, I have only a few things.
Oh, Herschel just like stuck.
It is a little super bag, a few stuff, just what I need, and just kind of looks around and, if I need to read. Okay.
So she leads you into a
Good day.
what essentially you quickly
conversation goes
quickly
stale.
realize this is a dank jail.
Oh.
Dungeon, even perhaps. There are 3 people inside this dungeon,
Human.
manacled to the wall. A man, a woman, they both are breathing. You can hear them.
Okay.
But the third one, the blonde man, who you feel drawn to, it's almost like a love for this being, even though you've never seen him before. Rhea, you instantly recognize him as Neil,
Yeah.
Irene's lover.
100%. I show no recognition on my face.
What do you-
Composure?
Composure and subterfuge, please.
I wish you were good at that.
Would this be considered a social role?
No.
Yes,
I
definitely.
might have some competition with Irene, but I can do
I get an extra die.
I don't think
That is 4 successes.
nice.
Great. So, as soon as you enter in, Neil's kind of there, and he looks up and he sees you all. Oi, you bitch, get me out of here! He says to Babette, and she walks up to him and strokes his cheek. No. So, this is our workroom. I like to experiment with recipes down here.
With vampire blood.
Oh, just this one. She taps his nose and he's like, you fucking. But the other two, they're mere mortals.
Yeah, I could give a shit.
But you haven't tried the blood yet. I've worked it, changed the flavors. It's a hobby of mine. No?
Prince, I wouldn't.
I think she goes to the woman. I'm sure you'd love a taste of this one. Oh, no. This one, though.
What's the color of his hair?
It is a red.
No.
No? I thought for sure. But, alas. For sure, you? Would you like a taste?
Fine.
Yeah, I think you've had your fill. Great to see your workings down here.
Neil's just like staring at you. He hasn't said anything.
Thank God, no.
And it seems to you that Babette has not noticed him looking at you. But you met 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who you are.
I'm lightly shaking my head and like kind of directing it at him, being like, but like using it in the conversation with Babette. Like, I don't think we need to see anymore. I think we've definitely had our fill for the evening.
Is this okay? Does this fall in your line of...
Not vampires, no. We do not keep our own kind locked up.
This one is not yours, though. He's mine.
Fine.
Good. And he's just like, behind her back, like... Babette's head quickly turns to the corner where a rat is scuttling. It sees her, look at it, and then it darts into the crack of the wall. We are not alone. Something is watching us. You've sent people here to watch us!
I have not.
No.
You said the text didn't send! So I'm not lying!
I know, no one said you were.
Not a messy critical, but a critical win.
Ooh, awkward.
She... Oh! Okay. She turns to you and points a finger. Wind starts blowing around her, just kind of pushing her hair back. I need...
Okay.
Meanwhile, upstairs.
11.
So Nick,
Rhea, I need you to make stamina
Oh, great.
plus athletics. How many points do you have in fortitude? You have none.
No, fortitude I have 1. Athletics I have 0.
Okay.
You're gonna go flying, huh?
Hold on. You may be able to add fortitude to this.
Fortitude just
Yeah, our
usually
two
adds,
Yeah, fortitude, yeah, I have resilience.
just adds to your
Oh, this is not good.
It's free. Add fortitude rating to your health track. Right? That's it.
Doing what?
This adds your health track.
What does that mean?
It means
Sorry.
that you've already figured out in terms of how much damage you can take.
Yeah. So this just adds to your health. You don't add it to this ride. So just a stamina check, please.
You're fine.
Oh, you're rolling 2 dice.
Yes!
Forget about it.
Squishy!
Don't roll.
Blood. Can I?
Rouse.
Yes.
Make a rouse check.
Alright.
She normally.
Well, I failed that, so I have
You
2
gain
hunger.
a hunger.
2 hunger.
So normally Rhea would not be able to withstand this attack. She knows this. So she's compelling her blood to give her a boost to stamina. That should have added a 3rd die. Fails.
Oh, I didn't roll 3. I rolled
Okay.
2.
Right. The rouse just means you're hungry, but you still.
Alright, so it's 1 success.
1 success.
Flying.
You feel this wind come upon you, the cold in this chamber. Already, you could feel it even as a vampire, but the cold that envelops your limbs ices your joints over, and it becomes almost impossible for you to move. No, Rhea! Neil says, and she turns to him. You know him!
Great job, Neil.
Herschel, what are you doing?
Herschel will step forward and say, "Witch, do you know who I am?" I am a Ursula Ostropol. Does the name mean nothing to you?
It means something, but you are not what I would expect.
I am never what you expect. Now let us go, and let us bring him with us.
Manipulation and subterfuge.
Alright. I will rouse the blood before,
Do it.
and I will be using my blood potency.
Okay, so we're going to do a whole bunch of mechanical things here.
Which
Herschel, as a Tremere, as a blood mage, is going to try and increase the potency of his blood.
Alright, which is a cost to rouse check. The dice pools are resolve and blood sorcery.
You're gonna be so hungry.
So start with the rouse.
Yep.
Oh my god.
The rouse, I failed.
Okay,
So.
you're at how many hunger?
4.
No.
So as you begin to rouse your blood into increasing its potency, the beast from deep within just says, "Fuck her. Take everything she has and then some."
I'm starting to listen a little.
Mm.
And that is a resolve plus blood.
Plus blood sorcery.
Plus blood sorcery, so that's... Oh, I forgot that... Oh, no.
Don't have the hunger for the
Not
one.
yet.
Yep.
I keep wanting to do that. I will... I'm thinking
Spend a willpower.
Yeah, I'm spending a willpower to
Do it.
roll 2 of these.
The more willpower they spend, the more I can fuck with them.
Yes! So that's 4 successes.
In raising your blood potency.
Yep. Which is a difficulty of 2 plus my blood sorcery, which is blood potency, which is successful.
Great. So you're blood potency 2 now.
Yes.
He reads as if being an elder vampire.
And then I will do that
A rouse
check for that.
Just
Which
he
is
knows
I-
how to manipulate his blood to its best effort.
This is a big rouse check. Eh?
Yes,
Oh,
which
God.
is I roll 2 and take whichever one I prefer.
Yes, 6 because your potency is higher.
Which I will take the success.
Okay,
Great.
yeah,
Any hunger.
Smart choice. It's good.
And
So this is the biggest bluff of your unlife.
I think I'm going to take out some special dice now. Hold on. Give me a second.
Who says gamers are superstitious?
Oh, hold on.
Everyone.
Yeah, constantly.
I'll
Where-
roll this for now.
Oh, thanks. Found them. They're somewhere. Great. Okay. Alright. And
Tension.
so how many how many got out?
So you're rolling manipulation and subterfuge.
Right.
You've increased. I think with blood potency 2, it actually improves the amount of dice you can add to
Right,
it.
which is why I did that.
Exactly.
I think it
So
is
it's 2 dice now.
2 dice added to it.
Oh my gosh.
Stormy.
We're dropping
Thanks,
things.
Justin.
Things are getting intense
So that
here.
is manipulation 1, 2. And I have 1, 2, 3.
Luckily, nothing exciting will happen upstairs.
Oh,
no.
yeah, so boring.
Nothing.
So dull.
So manipulation, subterfuge,
Well, this is
so that's
15.
4.
Talk about how
so
we're
plus
tasting.
2, right? So that's 5. 2. Oh, 6 actually.
Oh, and I'm rolling insight against this.
Alright.
Take another hunger.
Don't know.
Oh, great.
Do I want to?
Yes.
That's 3 6 well, but one of them is a success.
I'm re-rolling.
Oh,
Spending
I would
willpower.
fucking re-roll, man. I would re-roll.
Yeah, I'm
Spend
gonna re-roll.
willpower. Spend
Yeah,
willpower.
I'm spending my willpower, but I only have 2 dice. Wait,
You only do up to 3 non-hunger dice.
right, but I've added a hunger dice because I failed that previous rouse check, right?
Not to. Yes. Yes.
So I only have 2 dice I can re-roll, and one of them was a success.
Yep.
Are you hoping for?
You can't roll that one or that one?
These are all hunger dice.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, no.
I have 4 hunger
Why
dice
did you not eat upstairs? Okay, fine.
because
He was paranoid. How many?
2 successes because I went down for my 3.
Why did you re-roll?
Why did you re-roll?
Why would you re-roll the?
He's
You
hoping
could.
for a
I
10.
can, oh wait,
You don't have to.
I don't have to.
No.
You don't have to re-roll it.
No. So you had 3 successes.
Yes.
Yes. You're drinking through glass.
Wait, thank you. I'll put that away.
Her eyes narrow to the barest of slits.
You lie. And that's exactly what I would do.
Meanwhile, upstairs,
Everything's honky dory up here.
David sits in a big chair in front of the fireplace, and I'm assuming you're not hungry.
I'm alright, thanks.
I have to thank you for coming to meet with us. It certainly made things easier. At that point, the door opens, and these 2 hulking men enter the room. They are clearly vampiric, and their bodies have been altered. Almost as if shapen to someone's whims. Their torsos are perfect triangles, and the top of their shoulders are rippling with disfiguring bumps and humps. They're both balding men, one with like patches of beard that just is not coming in, and they're both holding spiked clubs. They look like twins.
It's a bad idea. Bad idea.
Is it?
You know how old I am? I was born in 1971. Think about that.
Uh-huh.
I'm the sheriff of Albany, right?
Mm-hmm.
They send me here, you kill me? Give me the final death? What is that? What do the Camarilla in New York care about this? I will be rooting you out. You kill me, I don't come home, they've lost some neonate, and what have you done? Revealed yourself to be an enemy for those you seek refuge with?
Oh.
Revealed your plan? I mean, you can, if you want to have the fun, we can do the fight, or you can think about this long term.
It's almost as if you don't think that revealing ourselves is a part of the plan. And at that point, thing 1 brings down the spiked club over your head.
Okay, so I have at this point got into my bag. I pulled out Lucky, and I'm just gonna toss it at one of them.
Ah! Okay, thing 1 or thing 2?
Whichever one was moving towards him.
Thing 1.
Okay.
So he's about to do this when an undead raccoon goes flying into his
I would like
face.
to think that they are so muscular that they cannot reach their own heads.
Okay, well, so we're gonna make something with animal ken.
I mean, I do have animal ken and dexterity.
Fair whispers.
I could do feral whispers. Which I feel like
These back to Bond Famulus. Charisma plus animal ken. Yes, please.
Charisma.
You're trying to tell Lucky through your shared blood bond exactly what to do. Not that he doesn't know what to do, but let's see how well he can do
I
it.
know. Okay. All right. Animal ken and. That was shit. Alright, I'm gonna burn a willpower and move.
3 non-hunger dice.
3 non-hunger dice. Okay, well then that's only 2. One success.
One success. These things aren't hungry, they're well fed, but they are pretty muscular. That's a messy critical. So, he's right here, about to bring down the spike into Nick's head when Lucky the raccoon goes into his face. He grabs Lucky, flings it against the wall.
I'm sure we hear all of the bones crack. I mean, it was already dead.
Lucky falls to the ground and just twitches
Alright.
for a moment.
For fuck's sake. Alright,
Nick, what are you doing?
I am unveiling my feral weapons,
Same.
and my claws come out. I have to make a rouse check.
Make a rouse check, both of you, as your claws.
I know, a little hungry.
Me too. Everybody gets hungry.
Beast
out.
takes over. Claws come out, and I'm like sitting in this chair. I just kind of like roll back in it and do like a slashing attack across his.
I'm gonna go for David.
Okay, so let's start with your slashing attack.
Yeah. So this is going to be a brawl. So like, is it strength in these type of situations? I believe. Like strength plus brawl.
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't matter. They're the same.
But whatever. Go for
Could I use Dex?
It doesn't matter for me.
Common
That was for me.
Stabbing someone. Dex plus melee. Punching someone. Strength plus brawl.
Okay.
So strength.
Okay. You think? I wanted to use Dex.
Okay. I get 4 successes.
As do I. Alright.
So that basis, they even like. Then do I get to add like 0 plus whatever damage comes from my weapon?
Do your claws give damage?
They give me plus 2 modifier to the brawl damage and cause aggravated health damage to mortals. The superficial damage inflicted from them is not halved.
Thing 1 has taken 1 point of aggravated damage.
Okay.
Great. Thing 2 has taken no damage. Your claws, you turn and just slash across his chest, and it opens a little bit of a wound, enough for its vitae to start welling to the surface. Rouse check? You've gained hunger.
I already gained hunger.
Your claws pop and you're going for David.
I am.
Okay.
That adds me an extra 2 to my brawl. Okay, that's sweet. Alright,
To your damage.
my damage.
Yeah.
Oh, does it damage only?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was 2.
When activated, the vampire adds plus 2 modifier to the brawl damage. So
Okay.
it ain't nothing.
You're going for David. He is sitting casually in the chair as this is all going.
Fucker.
And you reach forward with your hands now turned into animal-like, bestial claws.
Fuck the gangrel.
I have 4 successes.
Good, huh?
That's not good.
You go and you slash, and you, when your eyes like readjust, there's a slash in the leather where he was sitting. He sunk into shadow and disappeared.
Okay.
David is no longer in the room.
Alright. I guess just thing 1 and thing 2 then.
Yes.
Okay.
Thing 2's coming around to you, Nick, raising up its spiked club
Okay.
to attack thee.
Sounds like a plan. Is it opposed, Borrow?
No, because you've used your action for this combat, so this is just me.
Have fun. We'll be here.
3 successes. Do you have fortitude?
I do.
So it adds resilience?
Yeah, that's
It adds
fortitude
to
just
your
adds to
health
my health track.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take 3 points of what is it? Superficial damage.
Okay.
Vampires don't take full damage from regular weapons. Okay, thing 1 and thing 2 have attacked you both. David has disappeared. Babette has seen through Herschel's lies and has frozen Rhea. Rhea, you can spend a willpower to break out of this. Just move out of the ice that has rimed your joints.
Well, I do that.
Okay.
And I would like...
Kneels up. Rhea, come on, you got this.
I would like to compel her.
I was going to try to mesmerize her.
Aha! Joint disciplines.
Yes.
Joint dominates.
Or I'll just,
Oh wait,
yeah.
if he's gonna do, okay, if he's doing that, then I'm just gonna enact presence because with dominate you have to maintain eye contact, and she obviously cannot do that with both of us.
No, but presence will draw her eyes away from him to you.
Oh, fair point.
Yep. Unless you use daunt or dread gaze, which might do the opposite of that.
All right, I'll
But
dread gaze.
however, what do you do?
Yes.
All right, I dread gaze.
Okay.
Do it.
This is I'm rolling composure plus resolve.
Yes, and I'm rolling charisma and presence.
He has extra hunger now. I'll take
Seven.
that. I'll take that. That's a critical. Good luck.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch. What?
Rich.
Well, I would like. Okay, so let me look at my willpower real quick. So I've spent one, spent another. I'm going to spend one more to re-roll 3 die.
How are we doing? How do you look with willpower?
I still have 4.
Okay. Ooh, she's looking good.
Yeah. Not too
And that is 2 successes.
You try and catch her and scare her, and she just looks right back at you. You think I haven't seen worse? I was born in the fall of Constantinople.
Yes.
I have seen many things, and the dragon will consume all at the end of the night. Herschel, what do you do?
Herschel will lower his glasses a little and just say, Babette! And when she looks over, he's going to try to mesmerize her.
Okay.
My blood is still roused.
Yes, it
It will
is.
be for the end of, until the end of the scene.
Well, it's still impotent.
It's still, yes.
The rouse is only for each roll.
Right. So I'm going to rouse it again.
Yes! Rouse that blood!
Alright.
Play with fire, sir.
It's fine.
There's 2 humans.
Intelligence plus resolve for me, manipulation plus dominate for you.
Plus, was it 1 or 2 dice? Now that I've roused it.
Well, you get to use 2 dice to rouse.
Right, which I did.
Yep. So you
successful.
and then it's add 2 dice to this roll. Yep.
Right. And that righty, so that
Rolling
manipulation.
Oh, yes,
1,
that makes
2,
one sense.
She's intelligent.
3,
Fairly intelligent.
4,
Not mine, actually.
Sorceress in her own right.
and dominate.
So messy.
Alright. Let's see how this goes. That's 2. That would be 4, but instead of 6.
Numbers.
I'm going to. Should I? You know what? I'll take a nap after this. I'm
That's
just
the attitude to have.
This is a life or final death.
Yeah, I'm going to be
situation.
using another willpower, which brings me down to 1 willpower left. As I.
That one's cocked, so I'm gonna reroll it.
Reroll.
All right.
That's so close to
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's,
That's
1.
1.
That's 6 success. Oh, 4 successes. Sorry.
So your eyes locked, and she's almost like. Nice tie.
Thank you.
I have had many elders of my clan do this on me. You are nothing compared to them.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Babette, meanwhile, turns to leave the cellar quickly. Not supernaturally fast. She doesn't have those gifts. But she has other gifts.
I'm going to move towards Neil and try to unchain him.
Okay. What are you trying? Are you gonna break the locks?
Well, I think I have larceny.
She's picking.
Ooh.
So you pull a lockpick out of your brassiere?
I have lipstick, but
Wonderful. Make a larceny check.
Yes.
Dex.
sort of, yes.
You also do like a bobby pin. You can unleash the bun.
I have the, yeah, I have a ponytail.
Sorry.
Oh man.
Too bad.
That's 2 successes.
Yeah, you're able to boop, 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 boop. As you're picking the second lock on his other manacle. What are you doing, Herschel?
Well, she's still in my line of sight, so Herschel's hands just start to kind of twitch and flow, as he starts to destroy the blood in her,
Oh.
and I am extinguishing the tie.
Okay.
I know.
Who brought this guy?
As you make your arcane symbols, extinguishing the blood inside Babette, she stops right at the door. Ah! And like, you know that you can feel the blood that you're vaporizing from within her. Ah! She turns back. And then she's out the door and up the stairs. Kneels out. Oh, that was great. Well, thank you. Oh, gosh. Should we get out of here?
Just a moment, and I will start feeding on the closest human.
Instantly, you know that this man has very little blood left.
I'm gonna drink dry.
You take it. Remove 2 blood, 2 hunger.
And does that do anything to my humanity because I am a bag?
You gain a stain. Mark the far right one, and we'll roll
The end.
off screen. Sorry, y'all.
Alright.
Okay. But draining this mortal prisoner is enough to make you feel bad.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Who would have thunk? So, the 2 of you are upstairs. David's gone. Thing 1 and Thing 2 are swinging their spiked clubs. What are you up to?
Quick point of clarification. In the rules, if we're engaged in this melee, we both make rolls, and the winner is the one who does damage. So like, there's no like they attack and defend, and we attack and defend. It's like so we go head to head.
And you, but you only get the 1 action per round.
Right. So do they though. Like,
Yeah,
when we tied before, so I got hit by the second one.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm dealing with both of them over here, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just throwing shade your way while I can. Okay, I understand.
Cool.
So-
Cool.
Well, the room's filled with shadows.
So I'm smashing away again. I've got them kind of probably
Question.
teaming up on me.
Yes.
The chair. Okay, so the chair that David just bamped out of, is it made of wood?
It's leather with some wood.
Is someone are the legs made out of wood?
Yes.
Can I break the chair and make it have stakes?
You can definitely try.
God,
Roll strength plus athletics.
That's gonna be shit.
Strength plus craft.
I'm fine.
That's
No,
not
you
any
don't have
better.
to
No, I
try.
don't
Roll
have
strength plus athletics.
Okay.
Just burn it down.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's 2, 6, 3. I think it's all 100. Yay.
Oh no. We hungry.
That's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 9.
2 tens?
2 10s.
That's a messy crit.
Yay.
Whoa, okay, so you rip this chair, and in your hand is a perfect steak. I'm going to go ahead and give you, your blood is riled with anger and hunger and vengeance. So,
course.
as the beast compels you to leap towards Thing 2 and drive this stake in, I'm going to give you 2 extra die to make on this strength plus melee attack.
Strength plus melee. I'm not doing melee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 2 plus. Okay, so 4 total. There's 2 successes. I'm gonna go ahead and burn a willpower. I can only reroll 1. 2 successes.
It's not enough. You're the stake and like it goes into his back.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say could have rolled dexterity instead because I was leaping at him, but that's like way too late to ask that.
The stake goes into it, impales his back slightly, but not enough to drive all the way through the heart. Enough to give him 1 superficial damage.
Okay.
Nick,
Claws out. Still.
you and Thing 1.
I'm going to quickly drive forward again. I'm gonna throw a jab with kind of in a standard boxing stance, which is weird because I've got feral claws. But
Sure.
Nick's a man of some broken, old habits are hard to die. Yeah, let's do it. 3 success. I'm gonna spend willpower
Do it.
to make it happen. That was a 7.
That was-
yeah, so 4 successes.
4 successes. You beat him by 2.
Okay, so I plus 2 claws, so that's 4 aggravated.
3.
If-
Okay.
I mean, depending on it doesn't. They're not.
Describe your KO.
Okay, so basically, I reach in, I jab, and I grab him under in the jaw, dig the claws into his neck, and bring the thumb up into his twist. Gets a nice spray, and then I pull his head down and with cover and pull out my 9mm pistol.
So
So I drag him it's in cover in front of me, and then I prepare to aim next round or next time I can.
Yeah.
To put Thing 2.
got it. Okay, so
Two rests.
Margot and Thing 2, she's just put a stake into his back. He's gonna turn around and just.
Can I roll to try and stay on his back?
You've
No.
already spent your action.
It's fine.
So
Like where your
3
head's at, though.
successes. Do you have any fortitude?
No.
So you're gonna take 3 points of superficial damage.
Okay.
Those are just slashes. So his spike, all across her chest, ripping open the black shirt underneath and leaving this red line under her on top of Margot's pale skin. The two of you hear a door in the back slam open, and at that point, wind starts to build up around the haven. Herschel and Rhea, you're down in the cellar. I'm so glad you came for me, love.
I didn't come for you. You were here,
Oh,
and now Herschel's in love with you. Let's move on.
He's in love with me?
Not exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Well, I don't mind.
how did you get in Babette's? How did you fall in her
Do we
hands?
really need to talk about that now?
We will talk about this later, Neil.
Well,
We
I'm
should-
in no hurry to follow after her.
Well, that's the only way out. Is it the only way out?
It is.
That's the only way out.
She's a nasty old bitch. She's old.
How old?
Old. I've never met anyone as old as her.
Like 300 years?
Older.
What?
Maybe 5?
What? We leave.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I think we should leave. I would like to.
I'm already halfway up the stairs.
I'm gonna start following.
Wait.
What? Yes, Neil.
And he just launches himself on the human woman.
I was gonna say, I think he might need some.
Yeah.
Alright.
Can we go now?
Alright. What? Yes, alright. We're leaving.
Oh, great. And you feel better?
Tad.
Maybe you should offer him your tissue.
Oh, well, if you have a little on you, I do. Would you like some? Yes, just you got a little.
Oh no, you're not blood bonded at all. You're fine. You're great.
What?
This is
I'm
great.
a little.
I'm gonna keep this.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's so normal, right? That everyone does that.
As we're
I want
exiting.
that one too.
Oh my god.
Fine, I have a box.
I'm sure you have more in your bag.
These are great. I've never seen these before.
Is there any wood objects near us?
Not down here.
Okay. As we go, if I catch anything that looks flammable, I would like to grab it.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to grab some wood as you like head up into the cellar that she showed you through before. There's another door, one that was really well hidden. It seems that she's slammed it open and she's gone out into the woods. You can see the snow blowing at almost a 90-degree angle at this point. The wind has picked up, and you know it's not Mother Nature it's causing.
Herschel.
You also hear sounds of combat from the room next door.
All right.
We're having a fun time.
I think before we exit, I'm going to peek in there.
Rhea, do you think they need help?
Yes, maybe.
Meanwhile, okay, thing one, thing two.
Yes.
What's happening?
Thing one's down.
That's right.
Thing two is about to get shot-nated.
Okay.
So I see her coming, in all her dramatic glory. So I go, hold on, and I start firing at repeatedly. So that's gonna be that's Dex plus firearms, I believe.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
It could be with, but do dex.
I think it's Dex in the basic rules, but we can
You know what?
combat. Who thought that would come up in a role-playing game? I know it's a vampire game.
Shooting someone is composure plus firearms.
Oh, nice.
That's V5 for you.
Yeah, I think there's two rules, one advanced, one whatever. So I'll take this one.
We're using the Fallout version where perception does. Anyway, moving
Okay.
on. Sorry.
Is that a
That's a different game.
Is that a VAT system
I
situation? Okay.
Composure plus firearms.
I like composure. I definitely like composure. 1, 2,
Whoa.
3, 4, 5 successes.
I'm not even doing anything here. It's great.
Just how many shots do you take?
I empty like half the clips, probably like 7 or 8 bullets.
Bang, 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 and the man just.
Because that would come out to whatever to hit him plus 3 damage.
And it falls to the ground. Thing two is out for
Okay. And I fire, and then I turn with the remainder towards Babette. I say, take another step, and I'll ruin your dress.
That's gone.
Babette's
She's outside.
It's us.
Instead, you're pointing at Rhea.
Yeah.
Take another step, and I'll ruin your dress.
I'm not wearing a dress. Thanks.
Herschel's gonna go outside.
Okay.
Before we go outside.
And like
Wait,
you turn and you see Herschel just walking out into the snow.
Herschel, no!
What are you doing, Herschel?
Herschel will step outside and just shout, Babette!
Oh, God.
The wind blows, and it almost like pushes your back in a general direction, in a specific direction.
I'm going to walk that way.
Okay. You begin walking.
I'm not hurrying. I'm trying my best to give everyone else time to catch up.
The snow blows and just like starts collecting on your fine jacket and your long hair. Until you arrive at what looks to be a semi-frozen pond. And the snow is just falling, blowing. The three of you, Herschel has walked out into the woods.
Follow.
I would like to try to set fire to the church.
Is Lucky like dead?
No. Lucky is incapacitated.
Okay.
I might want to grab him.
Nothing a little blood wouldn't heal.
Oh, okay, poor baby. Okay, then I just scoop him up and put him in the bag. No, it'll be okay.
Okay. I start
It
walking.
licks your hand.
Alright.
I would like to set fire to the church.
Okay.
Okay, so you start looking for kindling.
No, I was looking for it before I...
You have something flammable, nothing to start a fire yet. You have wood, flammable stuff, but you need like a spark.
Accelerator or something. Accelerant, I mean.
Do you have a lighter on you?
Well, yeah.
Well, duh.
Why? Anyway, so you're getting ready to set the place to fire Nick.
Okay, I'm taking off. I'm like stripping down, taking off my ripped up jacket. I'm revealing like a shoulder holster. I pop one clip, put the half one away and load up afresh, and start as I'm walking out, and I pass the threshold of the farm, and I see before me Herschel stumbling.
It's been days, like walking through the snow drifts.
I'm maybe following behind.
You're like with the remains.
Well,
of
I have the bag that I've been carrying him.
So we'll see for now. You two are in the church, so you're getting ready and you're taking care of Lucky. The two of you are walking out. Herschel, what are you doing?
Herschel's just calling for Babette and saying, Babette, where are you?
from within the pond itself, Babette just rises up until she's standing on the water as a whole. Like, she's wet, but the water's like falling off of her and drying in the process. I need to make a roll for this.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, wow.
Because she's using some fucking magic that's making her extra hungry.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4,
She's dealing with drinking all
5,
night,
6, 7,
so.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Everyone counts.
11 die.
11 dice.
That's a lot.
This will be a lot of ones.
1,
It's a dicey situation.
3,
We're about to get diced.
4, 5, 6, 7 successes. She rises up out of the water. I'm knocking everything off of because I'm so excited. You call.
Oh, yes.
He
And
called.
I'm going to try to make her hungrier.
Extinguishing her vitae
Okay.
once again. Intelligence plus blood sorcery, stamina versus composure. She's extra hungry because she just used a whole bunch of magic.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're like, come on,
Alright.
alright.
I really can't. I can't re-roll it.
What do you got?
4.
5.
Bitch!
She's like almost like her. She lifts off of the water just slightly, and you can see the red underneath her heels or her little toes. And she just and then falls back onto the water that just solidifies underneath her feet. You try, but you cannot win. Neither of you.
Win what? What's the game plan here, lady?
Death. And like the wind starts like almost like cycloning around her. The fury of the night sky is in full effect as she rises up, lightning, and immediately thunder right after. The two of you can barely stay where you're standing. The wind is blowing so hard. Meanwhile, we're inside. You found enough to set the... This is going to be hard for you.
Yes.
Flame is scary.
Yes.
It is called Rotrek.
Yes.
Ear of red, I guess.
Yes.
But anyway, you're setting a fire, Margaret.
I might need your assistance.
I don't know how are you going to convince me to do that, because...
Please help.
Honestly, I'm high in the doorway.
I'll owe you a favor.
It's a big thing for a prince to offer.
Alright, what do you need?
Help. I need help lighting this fire.
Alright, what do we have?
Well, we have some wood, and are there books around?
Sure, there are
Yes.
plenty of books.
Just like literally, just like building a. Well, I don't have survival, so it's pretty much just a pile of shit right now.
I mean, most of this building is stone, right?
It is.
So what we need is like more of basically an explosion. I have no idea how to do that. But
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if like this is going to actually do anything.
Well, maybe you can wait while she's...
why don't we do
she
this?
starts.
We can go into the tap room. We can turn all of them on. Like all of it leak onto the floor.
And the what?
The room with all of the taps that we walked through.
Oh yeah.
Well,
just-
what?
All the blood just letting drain. It'll be undrinkable. It'll be something. Have we pretty much seen all of this place at this point?
Yeah.
David is still around here
And you
somewhere.
hear lightning and thunder
Well,
from
can I
outside.
find like
Unusual
sense
for,
that David is nearby?
Do
February.
you have Sense Unseen?
I do not.
No. Okay.
Alright, so-
Rhea, I need you to roll against the frenzy. This is going to be a willpower.
This might have been a mistake.
However many willpower you've left, plus your humanity, plus 1/3 of your humanity, rounded down.
So that's 2.
2 plus your willpower. Plus their current willpower. Because of course they've been spending
So
willpower this
2.
evening.
And I still had hunger die?
Yeah, of course.
Just coming to dinner.
That is 1, 2 successes. 2 successes.
2 successes. You're okay. If you do not get out of this building as it starts to burn.
We're right next to the entry, though.
Yes. So you start the fire. There's a moment where you're like, and then you're able to hold it together.
Wrap
Marco,
her.
I need you to do the same
Oh,
thing.
fuck. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Alright, so willpower.
Humanity
Doing
rounded
the favor.
1/3 of your humanity rounded down plus your
okay.
willpower.
Alright, so that's 5, 6, 7.
Those-
Rounded down, up or down?
Down.
Down.
The more they
So
hold on to
2.
their humanity, the less that the beast is able to take control.
Plus my willpower, which is very much
Your
willpower.
current willpower.
1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't done
You're gonna be
anything.
fine.
Yeah, I have 4 successes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're
I know,
in
fine.
way more control of your actions. Rhea starts this fire and she almost looks like she's about to freak out.
I'm actually the one who pulled her away. Alright, towards the door outside. Do I see what footprints do I see on the ground? I'm gonna try and see if I can.
Are you going out the front door or the back door? Where Babette
I-
went out the back door, as did Nick and Herschel.
Okay, back door.
Back door.
Okay. You see the 2 sets of footprints where Herschel and Nick went.
Okay.
I try to
And I
lock,
don't
like,
see
close and
anything
lock
for
the door
David.
if possible.
Yeah.
No sign of David.
Okay. Alright.
The shadows seem to have swallowed him.
Alright.
A little
Question: Is that an obvious skate?
That obvious? Sorry?
Obvious, is that obfuscate? Or?
No.
No,
it's something
he's a
else.
Lasombra. He like literally became the shadows.
Oh, yes, right.
Calibration.
So you wouldn't have footprints anyway. Okay, so we are going to follow those.
Okay. So the moment you step out of the building, the wind hits you in full force, and it takes everything you have to move step by step to the frozen pond. The 2 of you are there. Babette's rising up. The wind's calling around her. The water almost like rising up with her. What do the 2 of you do?
You got a plan for this ice capade situation?
Only a little. Only a little. And it doesn't seem to be working.
I'll try this.
Composure plus firearms.
I love it. I'm just gonna try shooting at it.
This is why you need composure for this roll.
Wow.
How easy is it to stay composed when this witch is causing an ice storm in front of your fucking eyes?
Some willpower is what I need.
Yeah.
Just 2 successes.
Ooh, you had 2 ones,
Oh.
and one is on the hunger dice.
No, oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yes!
I missed that.
Yes.
I was
Way to
kind
keep us on.
I
Host
need
in for a good show.
to really make this book. Really need more bookmarks for this book.
Do you want more post-its?
More post-its, exactly.
Here.
No, but I thought one only matters if you get no
Yeah,
success.
it's not so true.
Oh, is it no successes?
Oh!
Yeah.
I 2 successes.
Okay,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
Sorry.
Forget
I
about
was
it.
misremembering
Not
as
a
a bestial failure.
Right.
2 successes. You put
So that my bullets to go whizzing into the wind.
2 points of sustained damage on her. I'm sorry, superficial.
Yeah.
But that in and of itself. is
Right, not much, but
nothing.
I'm just, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail kind of
Herschel.
situation.
Herschel, he's going to try to do what he's been doing, and he's going to look at her and try to mesmerize her again.
She's pretty far
Oh,
away.
she's too far away from
This
that?
you're gonna have to like
He's going to be walking towards her.
into the water.
Yes.
So he steps into the frozen ice.
Yeah.
As a vampire, it doesn't bother you that
No.
much, but you do recognize physics and that your body cannot withstand this for a long time.
Yes. I'm not planning on being in here for a long time.
So I'm gonna make a check for her. As
I hope
we
she doesn't
move
have. Does she have?
closer.
I hope she doesn't have any powers to like control water.
Well, that would be
That'd be a bummer.
She's looking at you. You caught her attention.
Great. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Just to be clear, my rouse the blood is gone, or is it still going?
The scene is still happening.
Oh,
Your
great.
blood is still potency 2.
Great. So,
This is a mesmerize.
yes, I'm going to try to mesmerize her.
Doing intelligence.
That's fine. 1, 2, 3.
Hunger remains
3. Hunger remains.
consistent.
And I get 6
Smart
done
doesn't
for
have
this.
stamina.
Yes.
4.
No. The wind just kind of like knocks you, and you lose her eyes, and you're unable to hold for the dominate. The two of you
All right.
are running up. As you're running up, I
Hear
need
gunfire.
Herschel and Nick to both make stamina plus athletics checks.
And if we don't have one of those,
Just roll stamina.
alright.
I'm actually pretty good. I've got
2 successes.
Nice.
Oh wait, yeah, 2 successes.
As high as you could have gotten.
Yeah.
The best I could have done.
Ooh, that could have been bad.
That could have been real bad.
Yeah, but it's one success.
One success. Okay. 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So, as the wind whips you, essentially, Herschel, you take 3 points of superficial damage, and Nick, you take 4.
Okay, that makes. I'm now impaired, and that last one is now aggravated.
These cuts have started opening up all across Nick's body, and his precious vitae is leaking out of his veins.
And
If it's all gone, it's over for him. Rhea and Margot.
Alright. Do we see any of this?
All of it.
Does she seem to see us yet?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Alright, I want to roll stealth,
Okay.
but I also have to contend with Rhea, who will probably think I'm sneaking away.
Okay.
Okay. You do me? Okay, cool. Alright.
You're rolling stealth to do...
I want to try and sneak up behind her. Is she just standing in like the middle of a giant pond? Can
She's
I
in the middle
try?
of the pond, so you have to go around the pond. But depending on the number of successes, it could happen.
Okay.
She's used her action, so let's see what
Alright,
happens.
so that's 4 plus stealth, which is 3.
Include hunger.
I have, don't worry. Alright. Alright, that is 4 successes.
Okay. Yeah. She is so focused on whipping these winds across Herschel and Nick that you're able to just totally get to the other side of the pond behind her. Now, the pond itself is probably a good 20, 25 feet across, so it's a good 15 feet in the middle, like from any side.
Okay.
So, what you do next is dependent on that. Rhea.
Oh.
It's It's a free action. You add to your
Yes.
dice pool your number of dots and
I'm going to start speaking to her. Now, would this count as this would be a combat roll or a social roll? This would be a combat roll.
This is combat.
Yes. All right, that's fair.
Rhea's red heels walk through the snow on any one mortal. She'd be freezing. This would hurt, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Rerolling 3. So there's 3 successes otherwise. So that is 4 successes.
4 successes. What do you say? Your awe is active. The blood is increasing your presence. You're so beautiful right now.
Babette.
She looks at you. The wind kind of it's taken her blonde bun just completely out. And her little veil gone, long gone.
You've caught our attention with this trick, but it is no longer needed. Your house is burned. You have nothing left. You need us. You need me. You have to have sanctity in our city, of which you need my approval. You cannot have it otherwise. Do you really want to do this? Do you really want to continue this charade?
How many successes did you get?
And then 4?
I have to ask, as a storyteller, not as Babette. If she acquiesces, what are your intentions with her?
I'm going to have to send her to the ivory tower. I can't. I'm not going to let any harm come to her, but I have to exert control over my city.
She's old.
She's old. She'll probably escape.
We're losing elders left and right these nights.
I might find a way to protect that. I do have respect for that, but I don't have respect for what she's doing right now.
Beckoning has hit all canines, regardless of sect. And maybe it's time to politic.
Maybe.
The wind slows. And by the time her feet have touched the water, it stops. The snow once more falling peacefully. You promise succor? Refuge? Do you mean it?
Refuge from the Second Inquisition, yes.
The scepter and sword have long lied to our kind.
I recognize that. If you do not allow any other harm to come to us tonight, I will allow you refuge. No harm will come to you, and when I say that, I look around me.
Listen, the Camarade wronged you a long time ago. We haven't been around that long, so it's a new time.
You're 500 years old. I'm only 85.
She falls to her knees. Clearly the pond is several feet deep, yet the surface seems to be completely solid for her. It's so hard. These nights, it takes everything I have not to all answer, not to follow the call. Simichi still lives. I know it. He speaks through my blood, and I do not wish to answer. For only death lies that way.
I'm going to fall to my knees as well. In respect. I understand that. I don't understand. I've never lived through that. But I understand the call to your own kind. And the loyalty that you feel within it. And the comfort that you feel within it. And the hatred.
You don't know. The Camarilla. They've only ever denied the existence of the antediluvians, the progenitors of our clans. But they are real, I assure you. I assure you they are real. And they call, and they beckon. And I cannot refuse most nights, but I try.
Well, you have to refuse this night, or else we cannot help you. You have nowhere to go.
Yeah, you need protection from yourself. We can provide that.
How far away is she?
About 15 feet in the middle of the
In the
pond.
middle of the pond, of course. Okay.
I am circling back around.
Margo, what are you planning?
I mean, I was gonna try and jump her, but I don't know now.
She's in the pond.
She doesn't seem... She's stopped attacking.
Yes.
She doesn't seem to have given up. So if there's anything you want to do.
No.
Herschel?
So she hasn't given up yet. I understand the pain that you are going through too. Understand. There's a difference between understanding and
You're astropolar.
and I tell the truth of that. But what you do is unforgivable. You are a stain upon our kind. But it might not be my place to deal with you. And Herschel will turn around. He will turn his back to her and walk out of the pond.
Can you roll charisma and intimidation, please?
Okay. Not very good at that, but I will try.
Just you spend that willpower. Oh,
Oh,
wait.
so
Or
you're
is he,
right.
oh, no, yeah. No,
I don't have any. I have one willpower.
got
Also,
left.
this is all hunger die anyways.
Yeah, I'm rolling 3 hunger die.
You gonna rouse that blood?
You don't have any intimidation, do you?
No. Oh no, I have 1 intimidation.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No.
If I was trying to keep my composure, it would be a little easier, but
It's charisma for sure.
yeah. And my blood is roused, but it doesn't help much. That's 1 success.
Rhea,
What? How?
you have a response to his action?
He turns to walk away. I walk into the pond. Further, trying to get closer to her.
But when Rhea passes Herschel, he will put a hand on her shoulder and say, and actually whisper, and say, if you are able, have her drink from me.
Out of character.
And he winks and walks out.
Last actions, Margot, Nick.
Quick question. Sorry to break the tension. When I was taking that aggravated damage, when it's for superficial, it gets halved. Were you halving it already before you were inflicting it?
If I said superficial, you have it. If I said aggravated, you.
So the second attack with the ice was aggravated.
No, that was
Superficial.
But the clubs, even all that stuff, should be halved before it's applied. I wasn't sure if you were having it before or after.
The only reason it's superficial was because it was clubs.
Yeah.
That's the having.
Okay.
Having
Yeah,
not-
we'll
not
Okay.
the whole
I
thing.
just want to know how badly we're hurt. We can get off to that.
So Babette's on her knees, and Rhea starts walking towards her.
All right. My final moment is I put my pistol away. I put my claws away, but I'm still I'm not joining in the group hug. I'm standing on the shore of the pond and I'm watching with arms crossed with a all business kind of expression.
Margot, anything from you?
Oh god.
I feel like I spent all night sort of staying back and waiting to see what happens.
Babette picks up all of her dice. No!
And I feel like that's what I'm gonna do again.
And she sinks into the water. Blood tears staining her face.
Just below the surface.
And then she just
What?
underneath the water. Rhea, even if you approach the spot where she sank, move your hand around, there's nothing there. She's gone.
No, the minute she did that, I get back up and remain my composure. I'm just like, well, that, great.
Yeah.
Turn to Herschel. I don't think she'll be feeding on you.
I think you're right. It was a try. Open.
Can we see any flames from the church?
Yes.
The church has gone up.
Yeah. Okay.
And between you and me, it's a very bad idea. Don't do it. Drink from me, that is.
Where's Neil?
Oh, where is
Bright yellow. Well, couldn't really. I mean, she.
You're bloodbound to her, aren't you?
Well, no, but. Kind of. I never drank from her, but something
She did.
called me here. And I think it was her. She said she needed me. My blood. Stop the beckoning. Can I go?
Who's gonna stop you? I say as I'm bloodied and ripped to shreds.
No, Irene wouldn't like it if I disrespected our prince.
Do I
Wait,
know
what?
Neil? Do I know Neil from this? He's Sabat. Do I know?
Yeah,
him?
at the moment when she mentions Irene, I don't think we do. I don't.
You know.
Okay, I wasn't there when we talked.
Do I know?
You know who Neil is.
Mhm.
I don't think the two of you ever met.
No, yeah.
Herschel, I don't
it's
think
not
you
like I
know.
was social.
Yeah. But he
Yes.
lived in
So
Albany
you do know.
Yeah.
back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still trying to blend in with the background.
So, as the camera closes on these 5 these canines, or kindred, depending on your sect, in the snowy forests outside of Troy, outside of Albany. Let's flash forward a bit to final moments. Who's first? God.
I can go first.
Okay.
What time is it?
Oh, it's well after midnight, but
But it's winter.
it's, the sun will rise at 6:30. You have hours.
All right. I assume riding back to the town in the town car, but I am going to go by myself to a detour. Kind of, I guess, leave Nick where he is, but I would like to go visit Jaskin.
Oh, Nick's dropping you off. Nick's not coming with.
He doesn't need to come with.
Okay, all right. So the down car drops off Rhea at a small park on the western side of the Hudson River, right outside of downtown Albany. And she begins walking through these sewer ducts, making her way through the darkness until she sees a disgusting figure hanging upside down in the chamber beyond. Hey.
You sent someone. You sent a rat.
Don't know what you're talking about.
One of your little minions seemed to find its way to a Sabbat house.
My rats stayed well inside Albany tonight. So unless you know something I don't, Lady Rhea. Not the only one who pulled tricks with rats.
Find out what you can with your rats. There was a rat in Troy tonight. Please.
There's someone else I've been meaning to meet these nights. Irene? I hear she's quite powerful with the animals.
Of course, and she would send someone to check up on Neil because he would be missing.
Who?
That's fair.
Neil. That's her little boy toy, isn't it?
You already know.
Oh, I know. But you came to me.
I was-
I need to know what you know.
Well, I was just curious as to why you would send a rat to the house of a Sabbat, but that makes more sense.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, clearly.
Now, tell me about this Sabbat.
Well, they seem to have escaped our grasp.
That's no good.
You were here during the Sabbat time, weren't you?
Oh, I was. Kept my head low.
You're good at that. Let's meet some later time. It's getting tired. It's been a trying night.
I think there's someone else you might want to invite. Certain Banu? Hakamite? Akram might like you.
Yes. As long as he doesn't bring his pet, Sadie.
Whatever. So, camera zooms out of the sewers. Rhea looking very out of place. She's visiting her Nosferatu. Primogen?
We
Oh,
don't have
I
Primogen!
hate to say it, but that's what Mimi calls him.
He's the head of whatever. There's 2 Nosferatu. He's just the older one.
Who's next?
So the camera comes out of the sewers, and you see the Albany skyline. And there is the Hotel Marriott, which is lit up like any hotel, except you can clearly see an entire floor is dark. And the camera just starts coming towards that floor, and over it is Herschel's voice as he says, well, there was important news, though it has nothing to do with my search. There are some off here, and the camera keeps coming in to that floor as he continues to voice over, saying, and the Sabbat and I had a bit of an encounter. I'm sorry. I will accept whatever punishment you think I deserve. She knows of me. She knows of my name. She knows of my namesake. And she knows what I'm capable of. Please let me know immediately. What punishment?
There's a knock on your door.
And Herschel turns around from the desk in the dark room with his Gogo Bordello poster and stack of encyclopedias. And he walks to the door and opens it.
It's Neil.
What are you doing here?
He's leaning up against the door frame.
What are you doing here?
You want to get to know you.
I don't.
You sure about that?
I'm barely sure. This is taking a while.
We'll be keeping an eye on you. And he just leaves.
Herschel just finally relaxes, thinking back to his sire, Rabbi Lazor. Premier masochistic scientist, so to speak. Not only blood bought him, but and his lapdog. Goes back to his desk, signs the letter, and puts it in an envelope which he seals with a wax seal with the symbol of his order, or the letter Shema, or the Shin letter.
And with that, the camera zooms out once more from the outside of the Hotel Marriott.
I was following Neil.
Ah!
Oh!
So you're watching as Neil steps out of the Hotel Marriott. The camera zooms out and looks down.
I'm across the street and down an alley. My shirt, is off. My aggravated wound is still is yet to heal. I have yet to go, and my eyes are glowing in the alley. You can't see anything in the alley until you get closer. You just see these two beads of red staring. I'm just looking, just kind of a sniff. Very interesting.
I went to visit Herschel. That's for sure.
That's exactly what happened.
There's only one other Kindred that lives in this building.
I know this.
Exactly.
I've done my work. I've done my homework. But now,
Well, two other things.
I've got some more work to do.
Herschel has one floor, the top floor, but in another room several floors below.
Herschel's pretty careful. Neil, less so.
Definitely. But Ekram and Sadie have abodes in this building as well. It's safe to assume that Neil was visiting Herschel, but anything else, Nick?
I think Nick is going to steal away, and it's gonna. Actually, I think he's just gonna go and he nods to himself, and then just kind of as if Neil's going that way, he just shuffles off into down the street, and the snow has started falling again, and he just kind of disappears into the Albany, into the slick street of Albany by night.
Once more, the camera zooms out and back to this simple, homey cabin in the woods. Quincy's waiting downstairs.
I limp inside.
How damaged are you?
It was all superficial. It was nothing too bad. Can I try and make sure that no one follows me?
You feel fairly
Smart.
confident. You know,
For Gangrel, that's what we do.
Yeah.
you know the La Sombra. If they wanted to follow you through shadow, there's nothing you could do. But you are 100% certain that no one has followed you on foot.
Okay. Okay. I walk to the door. It's a solid door. I knock. Quincy?
Margot, should I open it?
Yeah. Yes.
The bolt slides. Underneath, you see Quincy's face. Are you okay?
Of course. Don't worry about it.
What happened?
Just there was a bit of a scrap. Don't. It was fine.
Are we okay?
I think so. Bigger stuff happened tonight than either of us.
She cups to your face.
I lean into it.
You worry me.
I'm sorry.
The last 20 years have been peaceful. But something's changed.
It wasn't going to last forever. I'm sorry. You didn't sign up for this. You can go.
I did. You gave me every chance. I love you.
Me too.
I love our family.
Oh yeah, Lucky's kind of a bit in shape.
Oh no!
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
And she
I'll feed
just
him a little.
puts her finger out and he just...
Oh god. What a weird.
She's kind of like holding him.
I mean,
Nurse.
he is like the pet dog. Let's be honest. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
the three of you sit back down in front of the TV.
Yeah. Okay.
A little nuclear family. Oh. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode of Albany by Night. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, please let us know in a polite and constructive manner. If you did, please also give us a polite and constructive critique. We'd super appreciate it. If you can't get enough of Albany by Night, please join our Discord in the link down below. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, etc., Twitter. And, chat in the Albany by Night channel about how much you enjoyed seeing our coterie this evening. And FYI, when we come back in 2 weeks for episode 3, we have 2 more vampires to introduce to y'all. We'll be lucky to be graced once more by Herschel and Nick. Unfortunately, Margot and Ria will not be joining us for episode 3, but their appearances are not over yet. So, we will see you all again in 2 weeks for Albany by Night, episode 3, Sadie. Thank you.